Welcome to LoganRobo's channel, broadcasting live on twitch.tv/LoganRobo and on youtube.com/@LoganRobo. Tonight's game is The Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. The stream begins. The stream flows. Drink deep from the stream. Thank you for tuning in to twitch.tv/LoganRobo and youtube.com/@LoganRobo. Please enjoy the stream. And we are live! How is everybody doing? I hope the Discord message pinging everybody in the stream channel went off. I'm not getting a notification on my phone, so thank you for those who are here. Maybe other people will be trickling in. I don't know. We'll find out. But how is everybody? I see that Oak was here first on the Twitch side with a Hey Longa and the whole command and a lurk persobing with Nora. Are you guys still on Persona 4? For some reason, I thought that you guys had finished that. Well, hopefully we'll see you when you're done. Said, I don't know when we will raid. Magpie says, Ka! Magpie flying in. How we doing? I'm doing pretty well. How are you doing, Magpie? I did mention on Discord, by the way, for those who did not see it, I was not able to get my new graphics card installed in time for tomorrow. It doesn't look like it'll be, so we are going to be playing some more Hollow Knight tomorrow. No Pragmata yet. I do want to go back to it at some point, but how are you doing? And Quick80 says, howdy, BRB, gonna pee, then I'll officially be here. Oh, if only here rhymed as well. Let me take a look over the YouTube chat. I see Radiant was here early, saying in like 5 minutes it'll be ready. I'm sorry. Okay, Radiant. I almost always start stream a little bit late. I should have warned you about that. But we're here now. Says I'm excited. YouTube. And the Radiant says, yeah, peak. Fruzzy says, with how things have been going, he's more of an okay Ace Attorney. Yeah, he's got room to grow. I mean, I feel more confident in him than like when we first started with Phoenix, right? But yeah, he's not good at his job. But Radiant and Frozy, how are the two of you guys doing? Oh, I gotta scroll up just a little bit. Oh, and Frozy says, Chronicle. Radiant says, yeah, Chronicle indeed. I eat bees? Says, Mafios Roblox. Wait, hang on, is that Hidden Hand? Mafios, or are you new? I'm not sure. Hang on. I'm not entirely sure if you're, because like the name looks like it's slightly different. So if you are new, I'm Logan. We stream Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Sundays. Tonight, as you can see, we're going to be playing The Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. We're just about to start. We are partway through the 4th case. Queen Katie over on the Twitch side of the chat has like a guide that she reads along. She doesn't spoil anything, don't worry, but she lets me know about how far we are into things, and she says we're about halfway through the trial now. So how are you doing? And Radiant says, yes, we figured that. And then Frulzy says, well, ... how do they taste? And Radiant says, hello, chat. And, oh, it is Hidden Hand! Saying it's been a year since I assume it's Hidden Hand. Hidden Hand, you were Mafia, right? I think? Because it has been a little while. Say it's been a year since I've been back here. Well, welcome back! Good to see you! I should load up the game, probably, at some point, and play game. If you guys want game, we should play game. So let's get to where we are. So where we left off, we just finished a cross-examination. I think Queen Katie said that we had done everything that we needed to do, and there's like just gonna be some dialogue, and there'll be a recess. We met Rolly and Patricia Beat, and they are delightful. They are super cute. But the thing that we just figured out is that when we looked at, we received a new photograph of the victim Olive Green, she's not actually dead. She's just in hospital, comatose. And she was holding a book that is the same book that was at the Garrideb residence, because it's the Lion's Pride. That was his book, and this has the burn marks on it that match up with the fight that Joan Garrideb had with John Garrideb and lit his books on fire. But this right here should be a massive conflict of interest because Joan Garrideb is on the freaking jury. I feel like if the judge does not replace her, that alone should be grounds for a mistrial. And so yeah, we just established that, and so I think we're probably gonna have to take a recess to call John Garrideb in, and he's gonna have to like testify and explain why the heck his book is here and what's going on, find out if he was having an affair with Olive Green or something like that. But yes, that's where we are. So I'm already behind in both chats, by the way, but I am just happy to be here. How are all of you doing? I'm excited. Let me have a sip of water, and let's actually play some game. Have you ever seen this book in Mr. Garrideb's house? I would never presume to know all of the books he keeps, sir.
Objection!
This is outlandish behavior. This woman is the accused landlady, you say? No, this is wife. Wait, no. Landlady is Garrideb's wife. But Soseki's landlady. You implicate this hard-working member of the public. You besmirch her without a shred of evidence. Your actions are unforgivable.
Objection!
Objection! You possibly kill people. We think. And somehow we turn a blind eye to that. This is not mere conjecture. The defense happens to know that on the day in question, at almost exactly the same time as the victim was stabbed on the pavement below, another incident was taking place in the room on the top floor of Mr. and Mrs. Garrideb's residence. Wait, what sort of incident, counsel? Domestic violence. But it was against a guy, so it was funny. A fire, my lord. I assume we'll call in Garrideb. We could also call in Herlock Sholmes to corroborate what we're saying. I just want more Herlock. Afraid to say it was. Happened in the blink of an eye, you know. The whole place filled with smoke. Couldn't see a bolly thing. Didn't take long for the fire to spread, of course. The bolly furniture started going up as well. Worst of it is, I lost my favorite book called The Lion's Pride. So do we think that Joan was jealous of the book and threw it out of the window? And maybe Olive Green like reached down and picked it up? I don't know how that helps us defend Natsume, but it might explain how the book got out there. I'm trying to do a JoJo pose. Is it correct? Do I need to look at you and look between my fingers? How do I JoJo? The Lion's Pride. By Jove! This very same title that's the subject of this debate. Oh dear me.
Objection!
This is risible. All you've told the court is that the book by the same name was involved in a fire. In which case, it would be reasonable to assume that it was burned to ashes. I feel like, why do we as the defense never get to say to the prosecution, all right, prove it then. Prove that it's not the same book. Prove it. I want to read some more chat. Let me take a look over the Twitch chat first. Let's see. Oak says, no, we're doing Persona 5. Oh, you started P5. Magpie says, I could be better. ADHD meds are out of stock, so I'm feeling like a dead bird, but I'm here. I am so sorry. I have, I've mentioned before that I have a niece and two nephews, and out of the three of them, we do have, one of them has, I guess it doesn't go away, ADHD, and has had to be on medications. And yeah, anytime a dose is missed, it's like, oh, wow. So I hope you are able to get it resolved, Magpie. Vera, how's your eye? How's your right eye doing? Saying, hey, friends, and then Oak with a 115 watch streak saying, yay, and Queen Katie says, all right, I'm back, welcome back, Queen Katie, and Vero says, hi. All right, let me take a look over the YouTube chat, and then we'll be back over on Twitch chat again. Radiant says, great. Hidden Hand says, they taste like bees. Funny that. I'm glad that bees taste like bees. Radiant said, interesting taste. Yay! Frulzy says, drats. I was oh, hang on, I scrolled without me. I gotta scroll up. I don't know why YouTube does that. There we go. Frulzy says, drats. I was hoping the mystery stream was Toho. Oh, well. And we have played some Toho. I think I need to practice it a whole bunch before I play it again. Hidden Hand says, yes, I'm Hidden Hand. Yay! I remembered correctly. It's good to see you. How have you been? Radiant said, doing great. My wrist still hurts a little bit, but it's doing better. Oh, I'm so glad. I've never dislocated anything, so I don't know what recovery from that is like. Taco says, hey guys, today was very tiring, so I might leave a little early. We'll talk, make sure that you're taking care of yourself, obviously. We'd love to have you here as long as you are able to and want to be here, and hopefully we can maybe take your mind off things. Maybe my loud and grating voice can wake you up, but it's good to see you. Other than tired, how are you doing? And Radiant says, wait, one M is coma, not comma, right? Coma, chameleon. All right, let's play a little bit more, and then I'll be back to the chat again very, very soon. In which case, it would be reasonable to assume that it was burned to ashes. And entirely unreasonable. Oh, other hand. There we go. Unreasonable to infer that it magically removed itself to the scene of the crime. Never said it was magic, bro. Perhaps it would make more sense if I told you that the cause of the fire was marital discord. Okay, hang on, I got notes. I wrote everything down. It was very salacious. Without going into details, it appears that Mrs. Garadeb was considerably enraged. Apparently, she continued to attack Mr. Garadeb even amid the flames. Oh, how awful! I can't even imagine being so horrid to the one you love. Can you roll it? And guess what? I still got my rolly stick.
Absolutely not, sir. My Patricia would never raise a finger against me, sir.
It's the same straw. I saved it. Had all my favorite novels in that case. But as soon as the fire got hold of them, that was it. Whoosh, up in smoke. Then the wife started hurling things at me. There was I, back up against the window, under heavy enemy fire, incendiary books incoming, 10 to the dozen. Oh, against the window, so one of them went out the window. I didn't even think of that at the time. Okay, that makes sense. I am impressed that Ryunosuke apparently remembered that little detail. The man had his back up against the window, and he had burning books thrown at him. Oh, goodness gracious! Are you suggesting a book be defenestrated? That the book was thrown through a window and had landed coincidentally at the scene of the crime?
Objection!
No, a thorough investigation of the surrounding area was conducted at the very evening of the incident. Why are we acting like this is a big deal? This really doesn't affect anything. I mean, this doesn't even help my case. If a book came out a window and Olive Green is like, oh, what's this book, and happens to be holding it when she's stabbed. We're being so dramatic about this when it's really kind of pointless. Let me read a couple more comments to the chat. I know I was just in the chat, but I miss you guys already. Let me take a look over at Twitch chat. Queen Katie says, so I'm going to wait till we officially start the final page of the guide before we test out my new clipper. Frozen Gemstone says, hey, Logan, long time no see. Hey, Frozen Gemstone, did you have a different username the last time you were here? Because yes, you were definitely here before, but I feel like you were somebody before you were Frozen Gemstone that I was supposed to call you. I could be wrong. I could be very wrong. But how are you? Welcome back. And how are you doing? Queen Katie says, Vero, are you on mobile? Vera says, nope. And Queen Katie says, ooh, can you pin what I just said then? And Vera said, I look like Megamin's trying to read chat. Oh, Megamind. Wait. Oh, you look like Megamind trying to read chat because your eye. I think you're saying that because I do have a giant forehead, as y'all have pointed out in the past on Discord. Who was it that like took a screenshot of me doing the Megamind kind of pose? The no, shall we say B words? Queen says, Herlock in court. I doubt the man would last long without any chaos. He'd get kicked out ASAP by anyone with common sense. I don't feel like in the Ace Attorney universe we have common sense in court. In the future, in the regular games, we've cross-examined parrots and whales. I would love some Herlock chaos. Over on YouTube, Hidden Hand says, Logan, you would be a great detective. Oh, you think I would be a great detective? Like, okay, great is in really great or great in the same way that Herlock is great. Like I got a buddy coming with me that helps me correct things. But thank you, Hidden Hand. Radiant says, Logan, hydrate now. Okay, I will do that. Thank you, Radiant. Taco says, it's the Ace Attorney mindset. We all are detectives. Says, isn't that the prosecutor who smacks his foot on the table? Yes! Yes, Taco. Were you here when I explained that the last time he did that, I tried to mimic him, and I slammed my foot down onto my chapstick on accident, and I broke my chapstick? Like, that's where the twisty thing is supposed to be. It broke it off. I'd, like, take it out. Vero bought me a new one, though. It didn't go as planned. So in fact, I should remember now in case he does it again to move my now functioning chapstick over to the other side. Again, along with any other deadly implements. Oh, and hang on, I see there's a first-time chatter down at the bottom of the Twitch chat. For those who don't know, I have an overlay that shows the bottom of the chat, even though I'm behind. From Tiri Yee? Am I saying that right? Tiri says, hi, I'm just coming here before I was going to go to bed to say that I've literally been obsessed with your TikToks for like ages. They're so funny and your VODs keep me alive studying last semester. Thank you. I mean, whatever I've done for you, just you by saying that has done 10 times that for me, so thank you. That is so nice of you to say. Thank you very much. So this is your first time in one of the live streams then. So I'm gonna really quickly give you the rundown on our schedule. We stream Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Sundays. Right now, our main game that we're playing is this one, the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. I think, yeah, I did recently start posting some videos from this on TikTok. And yeah, we've been alternating with other shorter games. I tried playing Pragmata, but my graphics card could not handle it, so I'm in the process of remedying that. So right now, we're alternating this week with some more Hollow Knight, which we've been playing about like once a month or so. So welcome. And also, I should do this. I should post this into both chats when I remember. Here is our link tree.
I want you to be a detective just because you're good at improv.
And so I can just kind of fudge my way through the whole thing and just kind of make up crap. And it's like, oh yeah, I totally know. Yeah, that's great. It's great. I think that'd be fun. I feel like in real life, though, if you ever became a private eye, like a private detective, 99% of your cases are just going to be, I think my spouse is cheating on me. Stalk my spouse and find out. Which, I don't know. Maybe that could be fun. But yeah, Tiri, and thank you very much for the 10 bits, Vero. And Tiri, yeah, that link tree has all of our social media. You already follow me on TikTok, it sounds like, but it has like YouTube, Twitter. I'm not very active on Twitter. A Discord invite, you can check it out or ignore it. But thank you so much, like Tiri, that was like so nice of you. I read every comment in chat. I am always behind, and so if you've written anything more, I will read it soon. But thank you so much. That was so nice of you. And yeah, okay, I should get back to the game. Also, hang on. I noticed that over on my Twitch window, my stream is timed out, so I gotta fix that. Give me just a quick second here. And now I gotta make sure I scroll back up after scrolling down. There we go. Okay, now we can play some game.
No, a thorough investigation of the surrounding area was conducted the very evening of the incident. And there is no report of the Garreteb's window pane being broken.
Who says it was broken? It could have been open. Let in a nice London breeze. Is Dermo here yet on YouTube to let us know if London has breezes?
That's quite true. We also saw no signs of broken glass when we visited the Garreteb household.
But it is not conceivable that the window was open at that time. And dash. Oh, you gonna interrupt me? You gonna interrupt me, you little vampire man?
Not even remotely. Let us not forget the season and the chilling weather that accompanies it.
Van Zeeks, let us not forget the inside of his house was on fire! I don't know if you know this about fire. Fire is hot. If I was on fire, I'd appreciate the window being open with a cold breeze. I'd also appreciate stopping, dropping, and rolling and putting out the fire, but like, the window being open would not be unwelcome in wintertime.
Even blue fire?
No, blue fire is cold. They tell you in school, oh, blue fire is even hotter than like orange and red fire. Don't believe it. Blue is cold and possibly healing. Fire facts. Please don't try to drink blue fire. But thank you for the 10 bits, Vera. Thank you. And also, is there anything we could do for your eye? I guess not from a distance, but I hope your eye gets better. I just feel bad for you.
No Londoner would ever leave a window open in the middle of winter.
Ah! Oh. Does the defense postulate this scenario in all seriousness, counsel? No, I'm too young to get my postulate checked. The doctor says you don't routinely check your postulate until you're 45. Do you earnestly claim that the book found at the scene was a flaming projectile thrown by Mr. Garadeb's wife? Yes! I believe it's a possibility, my lord. Hubbub. I like that he just says it's possible and not just that it is. Oh, who was saying that's quite enough?
That's quite enough. Well, I hope everyone here can see you for what you are now, you little foreign trickster. You call yourself a lawyer, but you're just a coward. A mean coward.
Really?
Claiming our little tiff set the whole neighborhood alight. Honestly.
I never said the whole neighborhood was on fire.
Implying that I'm merely posing as a maid for appearance's sake. How could you?
Well, you just admitted to your tiff.
It's nothing to do with this beastly case, not any of it. And all you've done is sully our family's name.
Judge, we need to remove her from the jury. No, I assure you that was never my intention.
Dragging an upstanding citizen's name through the mud simply to divert attention from your failing defense. Smack that man. I should box your ears, that's what I should do. It's utterly unforgivable. What? If I had flaming books, I would throw them at you until you were pinned against a window and one went out the window. I mean, I would not do that, because that is not the type of thing I would do. To right. Here we go. How long have we sat here now listening to this Japanese spouting out his fancy foreign theories? But think about it. At the end of the day, the only person who could possibly have stabbed the victim is that little hunchback with a moustache, and he ran away from the scene too.
Okay. Bruce Fairplay here does have a point that, again, that this whole nitpicky thing about the book really doesn't help anything for our case.
I do declare you're right. It's true. Yes, what did I tell you? Makes sense to me. Hey, sorry, what's that?
Well, it would appear that the ladies and gentlemen of the jury are once again in full agreement. No, the old man couldn't hear. What is your position, Lord Van Zeeks?
Missionary. Maintaining eye contact the entire time. In truth, my lord, I feel these have been unnecessarily protracted proceedings. But then, one must always exercise patience in order to savor the best vintage.
No, wait! And Queen Katie, did you see that he poured another glass? The mystery...
The books are your predilection, my learned friend. Study them on your own time.
I did that without breaking anything this time. Yay for me. Hang on, but I didn't see what Ryunosuke said. The mystery of the fourth book still hasn't been... What? No forgive the discourtesy this time? Ahem! In that case, ladies and gentlemen of the jury,
You will now state your individual decisions regarding the defendant's culpability for the court to hear.
Guilty.
Bruce Fairplay's voice. She's voiced.
Guilty.
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 No!
Guilty.
What? That's everybody. We've already done our summation examination. Did we just lose? Do we have to go to appeals court next?
Thank you for your unambiguous response.
Because I'm assuming we can only do a summation examination once per trial. That's twice now. It's over. Is this Susato?
Mr. Naruhodo, don't give up.
Huh? Miss Susato?
Have you forgotten? The battle isn't over yet.
You're not suggesting.
Of course, the defense has the right to another.
Oh, we can do another one.
Another summation examination at this point.
So imagine if we had this cliffhanger last time and ended stream there, lol.
Okay, I should have gone a little bit farther then. I should have. I didn't know you could do another summation examination. Okay, so we got plenty of safety nets. Kind of takes the wind out of the prosecution's sails, but okay. But thank you very much for the 10 bits. I should read some more chat. I'll take a look at the Twitch chat first. Let's see. Vero says, wait, pin what? Magpie says, how do I JoJo? In Baroque's voice is very funny. Well, thank you, Magpie. Can we get to say this one, Vero? Says, also funny you say, the other day, a streamer I watched was talking about the meme and I love you random person, and we had to explain to her what Megamind was because she never watched it before. To be fair, it took me a long time. I think I only saw Megamind for the first time, was it like 2 years ago or something like that? It was after I started streaming. I just never seen it. Oak says, we've been doing P5 for a while. We're like 11 hours in. How do I not know this already? You probably told me and I just forgot. I'm very scatterbrained. Magpie says, I slept till like 11 a.m. So yeah, sleepy burb. I was up way too late the past couple of nights. So I understand. So I hope you get better sleep tonight, more sleep tonight, Magpie. Quickita says, how is it that you're the second person to know who is out of ADHD meds? What is the economy now? And then Quickita says to Oak, that really doesn't narrow it down. 11 hours in could still be just the tutorial at school, lol. Weedle says, hi, Logan, I'm on an airplane. Welcome, Weedle, and thank you for not, like, slandering my name when you come in here. I hope you're enjoying an air. Oh, are you going back home for the summer? I hope you have a safe flight. Let me take a look over at YouTube chat. Let's see. Radiant says, probably gonna stick around the whole stream because most of my friends I play games with are still in school or aren't available, so I guess this is my first non-Hollow Knight stream. Like ever? Watching anybody? But you said you do like Ace Attorney, right? Have you played all the Ace Attorney games, Radiant? Either way, I will consider that a great privilege to have you here for the whole stream, or as much as you're able to be here. Anyway, Radiant. Taco says, I've spent 5 hours on Tomodachi Life today! Oh, just today? The most fun thing to do when you're stuck in the hospital. I'm glad that you're able to have that to pass the time. I feel like I have a hard time spending more than an hour on Tomodachi Live, because after that point, it's like, well, I can make a new villager or just wait for people to give me like mini games, have me do another game of no repeats or pixel quiz or something like that. I've been one of my villagers, islanders, residents, whatever the word, residents on Tomodachi Life has been a menace and is getting in fights with everybody every couple of days. And I don't know how to make her behave better. Do I just need to make her happier overall? Do I need to get her to have more better friends? What do I do? Radiant says, quote, how do I do the menace? How do I do the menacing? Van Zeeks. Oh, hang on, I just scrolled without me again and I gotta scroll back up. Why does YouTube always do that to me? Scroll up. And there we go. Radiant says, AKA Logan. Hidden Hand says, cool. Also, yes, that is the guy who aura farms by putting his leg on the table. I mean, it could be worse. He could take off his boot first, and you'd have to see like stinky toes and crap like that. I mean, some people would be into it, but I would not. Hidden Hand says, or foot for gore. Toshi says, hi, how you doing, Toshi? Taco says, hail, Toshi, and Taco says, I love your voice for the judge. Thank you, it's one of my favorite. Whenever I'm like recovering from a cold, like I had that cold like a couple of weeks ago, and I still had that post-nasal drip for like a month afterward, it's always a little difficult to do the judge's voice, but I love him so much. Back over on Twitch, Queen Katie said, literally whiplash going from the Gyarados to the Peets. I know the Peets are so adorable. I am worried that like, what if one of them is a murder? Because they did the whole thing where Rolly sent Patricia off to the police box to call for help, which means that he was alone with the victim with no witnesses around. I still think it's possible that Olive Green might have fallen over having not been stabbed, and they just ran over to help, and then she took off, and Rolly, for some reason, stabbed her. I don't know why or what his motive would be, but I'm worried, and because they're so adorable together. Then Queen Katie says to Vero, never mind, he read the message, lol. You're the best, though. Vero is the best, y'all. And Vera says, sorry, broken heart. Queen says, no, here, take some doggos. And Vera says, oh my gosh, puppies. Oh, and there's where Tiri Yee came in. And then Magpie says, that's how you know we were properly in character. Queen Katie says, his name is Pickles. Oh, wait, hang on. That's not Mr. Pickles, is it? Mr. Pickles is kind of creepy from like Adult Swim stuff. And then Tiri says, oh, Tiri I. Oh, okay, well, may I call you Tiri for short, or do you prefer the full Tiri I? Either way, I hope you're able to stick around. I always love making new friends.
Of course, the defense has the right to another summation examination at this point. You could still convince the jurors to change their minds. You have one more chance.
My lord, the defense asks to exercise its right to a summation examination. Wouldn't it be great if the judge just says, nope, only do it once?
If you believe you still have tricks up your sleeve?
I don't intend to trick anybody. I intend to uncover the truth! This is no time to be downcast. As long as there's a chance, I have to stay strong and determined and slightly more zoomed in. But no more than that. Oh, and is that the break? I thought we'd like go to a recess, like I said, to call in Gyarados or Herlock, but no, to be continued. Well, this is good because we'll have a chance to save anyway. Half hour in a stream, we haven't saved. Save my poggers? Yes, save my poggers. Save my poggers. Save my poggers. Save. Why were we all just sitting silent for like the last 10 minutes in universe? Oh, wait, hang on. Did you guys see that? I didn't realize. I thought Rolly and Patricia had matching scarves. Those scarves aren't matching. They're connected. Did you see that? I bumped the mute button on the microphone. Sorry about that. They're connected. That like one of the scarves goes down and like goes over the. I hope that was just like when I bumped it just now and that hadn't been muted for a very long time. But that's so adorable. I want a girlfriend like Patricia. And eventually a wife, the two, that'd be nice. Or just a girlfriend at all. I mean, the connecting scarf is just a bonus. I have considered the defense's counsel request for a further summation examination of the jury. Oh, so he has the ability to say no to it? And I have determined that the court must uphold the defense's judicial right to this procedure. Okay, so we are going to do it.
Don't worry, you did not mute at all. Also, I posted the test clip in chat, so whenever you catch up to there, do let me know your thoughts.
Awesome. For those who didn't see on Discord, Queen Katie said she thinks she found a way to be able to clip on YouTube again, because as some of you may be aware, as we talked about before, YouTube recently removed their clip feature. I think they claim that they're going to bring it back at some point. I assume just changed in some way. And so I think Queen Katie found some like third-party site or app or something like that. So we're going to test that out when I get there. So thank you very much, Queen Katie, and thank you for the 10 bits. Yeah, I think I'd caught the mute right away because the little light I have here that's normally a whitish, bluish, greenish color when it's fine went red. And so because I went like this. Well, now I can't do it on purpose. But anyway, it doesn't matter because it's fine. Let's keep going. But thank you very much for the 10 bits. Hey. So, counsel, you will now proceed with your second summation examination. Oh, I thought I heard another pling pling. I presume the jury is ready, Mr. Foreman? We are, my lord. Very good. In that case, I must ask each of you now to state clearly and concisely for the court the grounds on which you find the defendant guilty of this crime. So once again, we got this. Last time was pretty easy. We just got to listen, press everything, and then find out which two pairs contradict each other. The jurors' contentions. Before we do that, I'm going to read a little bit more in the chat, though, because I'm still behind. Weedle says to Tiri, be careful, he kicks Poppy allegedly in games. Oh, Weedle, the slander. Magpie says, Logan has Benoit Blanc. Who's Benoit Blanc? I need to look up that. Benoit Blanc. Oh, I have not seen Knives Out. I have not. Oh, so that is apparently a character from Knives Out. It is what's his name? Who is the most recent James Bond? So okay, I should watch Knives Out. I hear it's good. So now I know. So I thank you, or how dare you, Magpie. I actually don't know if that character is good or not. Vera said, you can make it for a few weeks there, I think. And then Vera says to Magpie, yes. And then Quick 80 says, I don't know, he looks like the kind of guy who would have so many candles lit in his house and he wouldn't care about anything. And then Vera says, hashtag fire facts. Oh, and we got a pin message from Magpie, written by Magpie, pinned by Vera, said, Benoit is great. Okay, so then, thank you. Thank you very much. And I have so many, oh, but you guys should be proud. I did recently this past week, for the first time since like last year's Superman movie, that was the last time I went to movie theater, I saw a movie. Clam offered to go hang out with me and go catch a movie, and we went and saw Project Hail Mary. It was good. I also would like to see this weekend, I might try and watch the Amazing Digital Circus finale if I get a chance, since I'm in a movie-going mode, but it depends on if I have time. Back over on YouTube chat, Hidden Hand says, Logan, would you rather be a prosecutor or a defender? Or something like that. It's a tough thing, because in real life, I feel like I would conceptually prefer to be a defense attorney, because I think I would rather defend theoretically the innocent. But here's the problem. In real life, a lot of the people defense attorneys defend will also be guilty. And so you would, to a certain extent, be working with some pretty scummy people. But everybody does deserve a robust defense. On the other hand, prosecutors, you probably aren't as often having to like defend scummy people, but you're probably very often having to accuse innocent people and trying to get them imprisoned. And that just like, I don't think I'd be able to live with myself. So probably a defense attorney, but I'd be very choosy with my clients. And if I think they're guilty, I'd be like, you should get somebody else. Unless that's unethical for lawyers. I don't know how it works. But you know, when I was watching Better Call Saul, there was a time in that it's like, you know, this does seem like it'd be kind of fun. Even though he was like working with like, you know, horrible drug dealer people.
Can Logan be a judge?
Oh, there we go. Can I do the judgy voice? Even like before I have like an old man beard or anything? Just up there like this. Okay, go ahead. I like that. That's a good compromise. Thank you very much, Vero. Taco says, I know you're not asking me. I would rather be a defender. Hidden Hand says, it clearly says Logan of the beginning of that sentence. Well, that's okay. You know, people can offer their opinions as well. I'd love to hear if you guys have a preference. So go for it. Open the floodgates. Tell me if you'd rather be a defense attorney or a prosecutor. Hidden Hand says, but okay. Thumbs up. Frizzy says, Lawyer Logan, you're honer. My client is innocent. He was simply yes-anding. I feel like that's a valid defense, Frulzy. And Dogga says, I knew you weren't asking me, lol. And Hidden Hand says, okay, lol. And Radiant says, no report about the window. I mean, again, like there was a fire in there. I wouldn't be surprised if Garrett slid open the window. If just because the heat, but also maybe it's like I might have to climb out of this window and jump because the place is on fire. There's a variety of reasons it could be open. But let's play some more of the game. The accused left behind evidence at the scene, didn't he? Those three books of his. Oh, actually, I clicked the stream instead of my game. There we go.
If there was some novel alternative explanation about how the victim was stabbed, I might reconsider.
Is it possible that during the TIFF, domestic violence, that Joan Garadeb threw a knife out, at John Garadeb and went out the window and just happened to hit an innocent bystander?
Even if the woman was throwing books, it can't be related to this crime if the window is closed, can it? Dearie me, it was only a little book. Hardly life-threatening even with a direct hit. Look, I just wanted to get this over with. If I don't bring home some pay tonight, I'll be in a tiny bit of trouble.
Come to think of it, we had a fire at home a while ago. It gave me the sneezes.
He's adorable. Yes, considerably more tangible arguments from all members of the jury this time around. Well, not from the old man. But I gotta back him up. Us oldies gotta stick together. With one notable exception, of course. I couldn't do it. I couldn't defend an old man.
My learned student friend was unable to find fault in the previous witness testimony.
Huh?
So the court must accept the fact that it was indeed the accused seen fleeing from the scene. And moreover... Ha! No one else was even at the scene to commit the crime.
How many of those glasses does he have? Those have got to be expensive. Well, if the eyewitnesses are correct, it would seem as if the conclusion is somewhat set in stone. I fail to see how it can be argued any other way.
That means I'm afraid that during the summation examination, it's essential that you establish some other tangible explanation for the facts.
But how? What would even constitute a tangible explanation here?
Isn't it obvious? Who stabbed the woman and how? Those two details are all you need to provide. Simply give us a name and a method by which the attack was conducted.
And there I was thinking this might be hard. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna say Joan Garadeb chucked a knife out the window, but she won't convict herself. She's on the jury.
But Mr. Naruhodo, you have to do it. Otherwise, this really will be where the trial ends.
Oh, no pressure then. That's quite enough preamble. Proceed with the summation examination, please. I presume you are prepared, counsel. Oh, yes, my lord. All right, Ryunosuke, focus your mind now.
He has a tiny old man that works in his office to make the challenges for cheap, and he doesn't get to see his family. He's akin to Alfred, but an ace attorney.
Oh, for a second I was like imagining, you know how there's those old fairy tales, I guess, of like the shoemaker's elves who every night would go in and like make shoes for the shoemaker. I was just imagining like a little elf in there making shoes. But if you're saying it's like Alfred, now it's making me think of there was a DC Comics character for a while that worked in the Batcave named Harold. He was a mute hunchback. I think he got killed off in the first Hush storyline just because they're like, we haven't used Harold in a while. But he was like a hunchback that would like, oh, thank you for the Tomcat that would build Batmobiles. So yes, so he's a hunchback elf. So thank you very much. And I guess the Tomcat means that I need to read a couple more comments in the chat. Let's get to where there's some music in the background first, and then I will read some, okay? Oh crap, what did Ryunosuke say? I missed it. What was he saying? Clearly the key to this summation examination, ... is going to be juror number 4, the maid, or should I say Mrs. Garadeb.
We have a book that disappeared from the Garadeb's house on the evening of the incident. And the 4th book found in the victim's hand. There must be a way to link the two.
Yes, that's what we have to find. This again seems very irrelevant to the matters at hand. Using every technique I've learned in my short career so far, whatever it takes.
Don't forget to keep an eye on Mrs. Garadeb and how she reacts.
Oh, so we're gonna do in the summation examination, they could do the thing where, like, when there's 2 witnesses on the stand, one reacts to something else. Okay,
even to the things other people say.
Okay, we can do that. Jury examination. The defense's rebuttal. I just wanna look at Rolly and Patricia in the corner. They're so adorable. I love them so much. I hope they are happy together. That Rolly, man, he scored a jackpot with Patricia. Okay, now we got some background music, so I will read some chat. In fact, let me save first. I can't remember when the last time was I saved, but I should do that periodically, probably, just in case the game crashes, so I don't have to repeat stuff, and so I can save scum, because I'm a shameless save scummer who scums his saves. But let's read some more in the chat, because there was a Tomcat called over on Twitch. Queen Katie says, already read that. There we go. Queen Katie says, sends happy vibes to Vero's right eye. And Vero says, I'm going to the doctor Saturday. All is good. Okay, well, I hope everything goes well with the doctor appointment on Saturday. Please keep us updated, keep us apprised of the situation. Vera says, yay! I'm pretending to be a pirate tonight, though. Arg! Weedle says, so what lore have I missed in the days I've been missing/busy? I don't even pay attention to my own lore anymore. I mean, there was the main thing was the crushed chapstick. Does Chad know if there's any important bits of lore to fill Weedle on? Quickita says, if you ever want to, or Weedle, do you mean in the game? Quickita says, if you ever want to, depending on what browser you use, I could recommend an extension that helps you highlight messages based on certain keywords, like how I have said it, so if someone says my name Katie, it'll highlight it red for me. That could be interesting. It might be fun to play around with that. Weedle says, Quickita said you can even change the highlight colors. Weedle says, cool, but I just use the app 90% of the time. Quickita said, yeah, but I was mentioning toward Vero and anybody else I guess might like the use of such a thing. And Vera said, I wish everyone would have colored comments, but for now, I have a big font for everyone. Quickita says, I even managed to convince some mods of a different streamer to use it so they can spot spoilers better. Oh, that's a good call. Said, thank you, Logan. 9 glasses and 2 legs now. And Magpie says, Dylan B. Hollis voice, leg E. I'm not cool enough to know y'all's references. I need to look that up. Dylan B. Hollis. He is a Bermudian media personality and baker. This guy looks familiar. I think I've seen him before. I feel like I've seen a picture of him. I don't think I've ever watched any of his videos, though. Let me take a look over at YouTube, chat. Let's see, Taco says, I want to eat a full pizza. Well, Taco, I have 2/3 of a pizza here. That's what I had for dinner tonight because I was running so behind with everything. So you're welcome to some pieces here, or even up to 2/3, but I don't have a whole pizza to give. I'm so sorry. Hidden Hand says pizza sauce. Taco says I keep on getting hair inspo videos on my For You page. Hidden Hand says Logan is not a coward, and he just aura farmed with the leg. Is that really aura farming? If I do the leg, I feel like a doofus every time I do it. Taco says get your foot off the table. Radiant says, hey Logan, I have a bite-sized game you could probably play and complete in one stream. Should I post in the server? Only problem is it's not free. Yeah, we have a game recommendation channel over on the server. That's the perfect thing for that. Even if it's not free, there's no guarantee that I'll be able to get it or play it or stream it, but I always love hearing the recommendations and checking them out. So yes, I would love to hear that. Taco says, what is it? And Radiant says, choose your... hang on, just scrolled without me again. That always does that. Scroll up, scroll up, scroll up. It says, choose your own adventure WarioWare type game called Air Marty, I think. I'm gonna write that down. I have a text file that's always open for notes. Air Marty, and I'll maybe check that out a little bit later. Thank you very much. And but still post on Discord so I can look into it more in case I forget. And Radiant says it's $3 on Steam. And Taco says, I see Ringo Starr got into fights 3 times a day in Tomodachi Life. And Radiant says, laughing. Taco says, I would like a girlfriend too, Logan. I know, who wouldn't? Who wouldn't? Even straight women would probably appreciate having a girlfriend. All right, let's play some more. You guys know the deal. We got to press every statement, and then we'll figure out what we're doing here. The accused left behind evidence at the scene, didn't he? Those 3 books of his. Hold it! Hold it! But as we now know, there were 4 books, not 3. Well, what difference does it make? There's every possibility that the 4th book, in fact, belongs to the defendant's landlord. Yes, that's the part I have a problem with. Sorry? Well, at the point the woman was stabbed, this landlord fellow was at home, wasn't he? Enjoying a fiery scrap with his wife or something, you said. That's not exactly how I put it, no. Well, anyway, the point is the fellow and his wife were somewhere else when it happened. They were, near. They were in proximity. They were across the street. Huh. I think that's what you call a strong alibi. No, it's not. So it couldn't have been the landlord who did it, which only leaves the Japanese fellow. Honestly, I can't see what's all the... What all this... palaver... Is that a word we looked up before? Is that more Australian slang? Palaver's about. It's a done deal, isn't it? I suppose it is, since I've nothing witty left to say. Oh, you never had anything witty to say, Randall Sky. Now it's the cute girl who's also racist and ruins the cuteness.
If there was some novel alternative explanation about how the victim was stabbed, I might reconsider.
Hold it! So, you might be willing to change your decision, you mean?
Oh my, such delight on your face, but I'm afraid I shan't be swayed by emotion. Despite what you may think of me, I am a very modern, metropolitan, and rational woman, although I don't use verbal Oxford commas.
That's great. I like the Oxford comma, though. You should use it even when you're speaking.
If one reads the morning papers, it's all forgotten by tea time, isn't it? So why read them in the first place? You see, modern, metropolitan, no comma, and rational thinking, wouldn't you say?
And not at all extreme.
As I see it, an overwhelmingly suspicious Japanese man has been implicated by overwhelmingly strong testimony. So despite one or two minor puzzlements, I do declare that the man is overwhelmingly guilty. Modern, metropolitan, no comma, and rational logic, wouldn't you say?
Overwhelmingly.
But us modern gals are always delighted to embrace new fads, you know. So I'd be only too happy to consider an exciting new theory if you could come up with one.
I'd be happy to do that too, if only I could.
Let's do our very best not to disappoint the modern and metropolitan young lady.
Right. I'm glad you omitted rational there.
If I only have two, I don't have to use an Oxford comma.
Even if the woman was throwing books, it can't be related to the crime if the window is closed, can it?
Hold it!
Can it?
But what about the possibility that the window is open?
What about it? I mean, there's just no way it could have been.
How can you be so sure?
The prosecutor fellow over there said it earlier, didn't he? Winters in London are no joke. You don't want to invite that sort of cold indoors. So no, that window wasn't open. Us Londoners like sitting by the fire and staying warm, see?
But you couldn't categorically state that the window wasn't open, could you?
It just wasn't. They wouldn't have opened it.
What's the point in having windows, huh? Counsel! You can look out the windows and see popcorn popping on the apricot tree. It's delightful. You would kindly refrain from childish bickering. Sorry. Somehow I need to show there's an undeniable possibility that the window is open. Because this young man isn't gonna budge otherwise. Okay, we're halfway through, everybody, although we'll have to listen to some cheek slap, and I'm going to read a couple more comments in the chat because I miss you guys. I almost got to have a sip of water. I'm thirsty. Let's see. Quickata says, I wonder if that means most of the legs are at the end of the trial because we're getting to the final page of the case. Weedle says, guys, did you know Logan with a lowercase L is Logan with an uppercase L? That means I am Logan. I am Logan. Weedle says, Logan is a puppy kicker stink, not eating enough fun dip men, and a lot of puppy having kicker by this man. Oh. Magpie says, the ADHD meds are forever in shortage right now, apparently, along with being a controlled substance. Technically, it's a struggle. I have something slightly similar to that, not quite to that extent, because not like as immediately needed. I can go like a few days without it if I need to. I've mentioned before that I have psoriasis, which is technically like an autoimmune thing, but it causes like patches can break out on skin. I have usually a very minor case. The only time it gets serious is I can get it on my scalp real bad if I don't use the proper medicated shampoo. And the medicated shampoo I usually use is this stuff that's made by Neutrogena. It has coal tar extract in it, and somehow that helps. I don't know how, but it does. It keeps it under control. but like Neutrogena stopped making it. And now you can only find generic brand versions of it. And it's hard to find, and they're often out of it. And a lot of them are switching over to salicylic acid, which doesn't help psoriasis. And it's hard to find. Like last week, I needed to buy some more shampoo. Did I tell you guys that, I can't, no. It was when I was doing an improv thing that I was running a little bit late there because I got stuck at Walgreens trying to find the shampoo. It took forever. It took like a week to find some shampoo. So I again, not as serious as ADHD medication, but I still can, to a certain extent, empathize. Magpie Weedle said to Magpie, yeah, it sucks hard. Queen says, oh, don't worry. Pickles is the talking dog from Reverse 1999. A good boy. Oh, good. And Teary I says, yes, no worries. Of course, you can call me Teary. Most do. Okay, so I will call you Teary then. I'm also trying to figure out what that little icon is next to your name there. It looks like a monkey, but it's so small on my screen, I can't quite tell. Let me take a look over the YouTube chat. Let's see. Dermo says, morning, Dermo. I was just, what was it earlier? I was saying it was Dermo here yet to find out if but then they established that the Londoners in the winter don't like to open their windows. Not that you're a Londoner, but I'm just saying you might know, because you're closer to that than I am. Toshi says, Rolly and Patricia are adorable in every possible way. They are, they're so cute. Except for when Rolly pulled his gun last time, was talking about how he would kill anybody that upset Patricia. That's not healthy. Taco says, hey, Dermo, it's been a while, lol. And Dermo says, Taco, yup. And Toshi says, I'm working on crochet while watching the stream, so I might not comment that much. That's okay. What are you crocheting, if you don't mind me asking? Taco says in all caps, Project Hail Mary. I love Project Hail Mary. I wasn't familiar with it. Clam had read the book, so he was very familiar with it. I liked it. I enjoyed it very much. It was quite good. There were a couple times I felt like Ryan Gosling was like trying a bit too hard to be quirky, but it was very enjoyable. The Rocky was super adorable. Hidden Hand says, to that text-to-speech question about the judge option, I approve. Okay, good. And I'll read one more comment. Fruzy says, I think the protection of the guilty and the accusation of the innocent is the biggest reason why lawyers are oftentimes depicted as evil and sinful. I think there's that, but I think there's also the fact that, like, sometimes, you guys have heard the saying where the process can be the punishment, where, you know, somebody can be accused of something and it's not only that they're innocent, but like even if they get through it, the process itself could be so expensive, so onerous, so difficult, and so protracted that right there is a massive punishment. There's the fact that lawyers can often just look for extra things to do, extra ways to meddle and to justify, especially if they're on retainer and things. So I think, which is not to smear all lawyers, but I'm saying there are, I think, a few other things to compound that, but I do agree that's probably a lot of the baseline right there. Accusing innocent and defending guilty, not usually what you'd want to do. But thank you very much. All right, let's get back into the game, and I'll read some more of the chat soon-ish. Sorry that I'm behind in both chats. I feel like I'm closer to catching up on YouTube, as usual, since YouTube is usually not quite as happening as Twitch. Dearie me, it was only a little book, hardly life-threatening, even with a direct hit. We're not accusing her of being killed by being smacked with a book. Hold it! Hold it! But the little book was on fire at the time, was it not? With flames of love, I'll have you know. There's really no such thing as a loving incendiary bomb. Well, he brought it upon himself. I like blaming the victim. It's playing with fire to betray a fiery love. Isn't it? Isn't it? Well, don't you agree? Isn't it? Oh, well, it's Tuesday, isn't it? Any kind of betrayal is certainly a bad thing, yes. But I think the argument might have arisen out of your misunderstanding, Mr. and Mrs. Karadeb. How did you keep smacking that guy? Never mind that. The point is, we were just having a jovial little dispute, nothing more. I hope at some point he defends himself over there. And I won't have any more of these suggestions that it was anything whatsoever to do with this crime. Right, well, we'll see about that. But what about juror number 5? See? He doesn't seem to be turning a hair at Mrs. Garadeb's relentless onslaughts.
It's almost as though he's used to it. What a gentle soul he is.
Is he used to it from her or just from women in general? Let's find out. Let's talk to him.
Look, I just want to get this over with. If I don't bring home some pay tonight, I'll be in a tiny bit of trouble.
Hold it! Ha! You just want to get this over with? How can you sit there and say something like that? A man's future is at stake here.
Well, him and me both then, like I said before.
What?
I told you already, I'm a day laborer, aren't I? If I don't bring home some readies with me tonight, you'll find me floating face down in the Thames tomorrow morning.
What? Oh, so his wife is abusive to him too?
You heard me. Me missus isn't one to mess about, you know. She can be fierce, believe you me.
Another shining example of marital bliss, then.
Situation like this cropped up the other day. It was, well, do you know, it's funny, but can't quite remember. It's almost as if she's been hitting me on the head, causing brain problems.
Sorry?
It was too frightening, that's the thing. I must have blacked out.
Helpful.
I wonder if Mr. Beat will ever be dragged into the Thames by a scar.
I hope not. Don't even go there, Miss Susato. There must be some way to jog his memory about this. Is it by because we can't present evidence to these guys. We gotta like contend it with somebody else. So we'll have to do that first, I think, apparently. And then whatever we find out from that will probably go toward Mrs. Garadeb.
Yeah, come to think of it, we had a fire at home a while ago. It gave me the sneezes.
Hold it! Does that have anything to do with your decision about the defendant's culpability in this case?
Sorry, what's that? You'll have to speak up, lad.
Could you tell us more about that fire?
It was last winter. My grandchildren baked me a lovely cake on my birthday. It had 75 candles on it, it did. What a sight to behold it was.
You put candles in a cake? Was it some kind of devil worship? I could be racist too! Against you white devils!
Of course not. It was an angel cake to celebrate my birthday, obviously. What do you call it? Tanjobi? Is that birthday in Japanese?
It seems that it's a common custom here in Great Britain, Mr. Naruhodo.
Anyway, I mustered up all me puff to blow 'em out. Only I must have blown wrong somehow. The flames didn't go out, but candles went flying all over the room. The furniture caught and everything went up. The whole place filled with smoke.
Oh, okay, so it wasn't because of heat, it was because of smoke. That makes so much more sense. I didn't even think about that. I've never had my place on fire. If only Clam was here. I mentioned before, our good buddy Clam, his house burned down twice. And so he probably, I don't think he was ever at home when it happened, but he might know more, he might have thought more about smoke. He's more familiar firsthand with fire. Definitely sounds like devil worship to me. And by the sneezes, I presume you mean a cold. But how did you catch a cold from a fire?
What a fiasco it was. The grandchildren, bless them, threw water over me as they tried to put out the flames. And then because the whole room filled up with smoke, of course, we had to open all the windows to clear it.
The windows. He had to open all the windows because of a fire. But what does that have to do with me finding out how the Garadebs could have had to open their windows because of a fire? It's a real chin scratcher.
The biting winter air rushed over me like the devil dancing on my grave, it did. I caught a terrible cold from it. It put me in hospital for a while. I won't forget that birthday in a hurry.
I knew it was devil worship all along. But something about this old man's story is playing on my mind for some reason. We're not gonna have him add that to his testimony?
We need to demonstrate who, apart from Mr. Natsume, could have attacked the young woman on the street, as well as how he or she could have done it.
Yes, but once again, the juror statements are full of personal prejudice. A lot of them seem convinced they're right, even in the face of logical arguments to the contrary.
I think you're going to need to pit them against each other to force them to accept an alternative explanation.
She also said that we gotta pay attention to Joan Garadeb's reactions, but she hasn't reacted to anything, so apparently we gotta present some first. I'm guessing it's gonna be old man. Yeah, so we just gotta, with somebody else saying the window. Oh, it's probably the blonde guy who said the window wouldn't be open and then say to him, maybe? Yes. I don't necessarily need to find contradictions between their assertions, just a connection might do the trick. All right, I'll see what I can do. If anything stands out, I'll go in for the strike.
That's the spirit.
Okay, let's save again before we do this in case I'm dumb, because I don't want to have to go back and press all the statements again. Save. Save my poggers. Yes, save my poggers. Save my poggers. Yes, save my poggers. Okay, let me read a couple more comments in the chat, though. Quickett says, all right, we finally start the final page of the case. Time to test out the new clipper. No witty name for the clip, just a cute, funny moment I clipped from last VOD. Okay, so let's check this out. So for those who don't know, or new, or lurking, or whatever, if someone posts a clip into our chat, we load it up and we watch it together. And so this clip is on a new site that Queen Katie has found here. Looks like it's called YouTube Trimmer. Oh, hang on, I just messed it up. I messed it up. I tried rewinding it, but apparently I don't want to rewind it because it does load up the whole VOD, but it possibly stops it. So let's see how this works. And let's see what this clip was from last time. Oh, okay, I'll have to adjust my clip viewer because it's kind of off-centered, but I think that should be okay.
Keep asking us all these questions about everything we've told you, so... Oh, it seems like you don't believe our testimony. Oh, that is adorable. Oh, I love her so much. Oh, he found a good wife. It seems like you don't believe our testimony, is that right? Is it? Well, out with it.
Oh! Okay, that got a bit too close to my face. Okay, calm down there, buddy. Ow!
It's not so cute anymore.
What? No. So okay, and it does stop on its own. Hey, well, it worked! Queen Katie, it worked! I mean, again, the framing of it is a little bit off in my clip viewer, but I would consider that successful. And Queen Katie says, so thank you very much, Queen Katie. Queen Katie says, it's an extension thingy I found. It has a good timing feature, so I can start and end at exact perfect times. Viewer said, this OST is probably my favorite in the game. Magpie says, Logan, you need to watch Glass Onion. Adley, what is Glass Onion? Is that the sequel to Knives Out? Said you don't have to watch them in order? That reminds me, I'm hoping to, Queen says, that reminds me I'm hoping to borrow Knives Out DVD from my library next time I go. Everyone on Tumblr was clamoring over it, so I gotta check it out. And then Magpie says, Benoit is great. And Vera says, I agree. PHM is great. I also agree. Queen says, and I finally got my hand on an ebook copy of Hail Mary, so I'll be reading this weekend. And then Vera says, the agreeer. Awesome. And then Queen says, I hear the book version has really neat POV stuff and the pro tags, thoughts and stuff. Well, it was kind of neat seeing the movie with Clam because afterward he was able to tell me like some of the stuff that they obviously for sake of time, because it's like I think it was like an almost 3-hour long movie. I think it was like 2:45, something like that. So obviously they'd leave some stuff out and he filled me in, and so it was very interesting. Let me take a look over the YouTube chat. Dermo says, aren't Marine, wait, hang on, is that where I'm at? Yeah. Aren't Marine and Korone VAs in the Japanese dub of Project Hail Mary. Are they? Wait, who do they play? Because there aren't that many characters. Okay, so if they're female characters, okay, the two possibilities I think there's crap, what's her name? Petrova or Pavlova or whatever. There's the woman scientist who's like in charge of the whole project. I mean, there are like all the students at the very beginning, so maybe there are a couple little girls there. There also is a point where,
The voices for Rocky?
I was about to say that as well. Like, there's also a part, thank you very much for the 10 bits, you and I are on the same brain wavelength, high five. There's also a part where the main character, Grace, Ryan Gosling's character, is trying to set up a voice, like a translator voice speech thing for the alien. And he like cycles through a bunch of different voices, so maybe they do a couple of voices or something like that. That is so cool. I didn't know that. That is awesome. Taco says, I'm just an innocent bystander. You tell him, honey. Yeah. And then bro straight up threw the glass of wine or whatever that drink is. Well, it's probably just grape juice. It's just grape juice. No, I think he called it something. It probably is wine, but I do think it's funny how in the mainline games, anytime Phoenix Wright is getting a drink, it's like, it's a drink of grape juice. Just a drink of grape juice. Taco says, why did he throw his wine? It was perfectly good glass. Because he's dramatic. He's an over-dramatic so-and-so. Taco says, I'm very tired. Goodbye, Taco. Thank you so much for being here. You're probably already left, but appreciate you hanging out. Get some rest, sleep well. Thank you for being here. Dermot says, bye, Taco. To let light in. That's like 90% of a Windows use. Yeah, that is fair. I think, well, also, though, I don't know what it's like over there in Europe, but I believe here in the United States we have like fire codes and things like that. So I believe like bedrooms are required to, in homes that are built now, are required to have a window in it that can open large enough to escape in case of fire. And so there's also that. And then Frulzy says, and to dramatically crash through during chase scenes. And Radiant says, yeah. Lol. Okay, let's get back in the game. So we got to see what we're gonna pit against each other. So we have the cues left behind, evidence of the scene, those 3 books of his. Some novel alternative explanation about how the victim was stabbed, might reconsider. Even the one who's thrown books can't be related to crime if the window is closed. So we'll probably pit him against the old man as the first one. So we did just save, so let's give it a try. I can scum my saves. We'll do these 2. Winner Oh, wait, hang on. Before we do that, he did change his statement. They didn't tell me he did, but we gotta see if he says something else different when we press now.
When the house fires are dire, you have to open windows to clear the smoke. That's when the chill gets you.
They usually will have the judge say, like, add that to your testimony.
That's when the chill gets you, see?
Hold it! I just want to see if there's more dialogue. I'm a sucker for extra little bits of content. Did you change your statement from before? See?
Oh, yes, it was one of my most memorable birthdays, you see. Couldn't let it go unremembered.
I'm sure the defendant will be delighted that you're using his trial to explore your past. It's a good thing, though, Ryunosuke, this helps you. And how is that memory related to this case exactly?
What? Oh, sorry, what's that? You'll have to speak up, I'm afraid.
Never mind. He's as deaf as a post when he wants to be. But actually, this old man's anecdote might just provide the alternative explanation I need to make my point to some of the other jurors.
We used unlit candles on my birthday this year. It's safer that way.
Or you could just like not use all 75. Just like do 7.5 or something. Do them by the decade. Okay, so we can skip through this dialogue because we already saw it before. Okay, there we go. So now we're gonna do what I was saying a second ago. We're gonna take a blonde juror and pit him against old man juror. And this should do it, yeah? Pit.
Objection.
These two juror statements clearly contradict one another. They do? How exactly, counsel?
Don't point at me again. I told you it wasn't me.
Hey, wait. Oh, no, sorry. It's the other old man.
What's that you say? Speak up, lad. Speak up.
Juror number 3, do you see? Okay, he's being too vague. I worry I messed up, but no, he said the window was closed, and he said windows are open in a fire.
Oh, me? See what, sir?
Did you hear juror number 6's account of his birthday? Okay, there we go. Now we're being specific. Account of his birthday celebrations last year. It seems, despite being a Londoner, he once opened his windows in the middle of winter.
Well, yes, of course, because it was an emergency. I mean, obviously, if the room was filled with smoke from a fire, then you'd be mad not to open the... I've screwed up. Oh.
Exactly. On the day in question, at the time of the incident, there was a fire in the Garadeb household. I wish that Joan Garadeb, we could have just asked her, did you open the window? But I guess she wouldn't be honest. We'd have sort of called in John Garadeb as a witness before we did another set of the jurors doing their votes and whatnot. And Mr. Garadeb had the following to say about it. Wait, can we just introduce non-sworn testimony into this? Quote, the whole place filled with smoke.
Oh, my.
Oh, okay, now she's upset.
Oh, my hat.
What's she doing? Is she pouring tea? She's drinking it. Oh, she's not chubby at all. That's just water weight. This is also not healthy. I hope that's decaf or she could seriously hurt her heart. Oh, hang on, we got a pin message that just appeared on Twitch. Written by Vex! Vex, how you doing? Pinned by Vera said, hey, was dismissed from my own jury duty today, coincidentally. Congratulations? Vex, I've never done jury duty. I think I got called once or twice, but it ended up getting canceled. I have been called to testify in a case twice. Once got canceled, and the other was I was a witness to a drunk driving incident. And I've talked about that on stream a long time ago, but welcome, Vex! How are you doing? Okay, so we need to talk to her, yeah? What is it? Pursue, I think. That's the button, yeah? Pursue. Excuse me. Juror number 4, do you have something to say about that?
I'm gonna have to pee a lot later. Seriously, I don't know if you know this, but tea is a diuretic.
Mrs. Garadeb!
Oh, dearie me. What is the meaning of this? How dare you imply I'm hiding who I really am?
It's imperative that you confirm something for the court. So please, it's time to drop the pretense now.
Well, what is it?
When the fire started in your house that day, did you or your husband open the window?
I beg your pardon. What are you insinuating? That we're the type of people to open windows? How dare you? How dare you?
The room would have been thick with smoke after the carpet and bookcase caught fire as they did. In a situation like that, it's inconceivable that you wouldn't have opened the window.
And what if we did?
Huh? Okay, at this point, I do think that she's the killer. I think she realizes that she threw a knife out the window and is now putting the pieces together in her head that it must have struck Olive Green.
Oh, all right then. Yes, you're right.
Because she's being so defensive about something like open a window. Why would she be so defensive about this?
My husband was frantically trying to open the window, which can't have been easy since I continued to give him a justly deserved book battering.
At least she finally called him her husband. Even though your house was on fire?
Oh, you never stop throwing until the anger subsides. It'd be terribly bad for the nerves to do otherwise. If you want to do violence, do violence.
Chat, don't take her advice. Of course, I should have realized.
That's a significant step forward, Mr. Naruhodo. You've managed to establish that the window was open. We simply must have that added to Mrs. Garadeb's formal statement.
I don't think you can take formal statements from for the summation examination.
Now you mention it, yes, the window was open at the time. I'd clean forgotten, but it's true.
Okay, let's say, because obviously we're going to press here, and then hopefully that'll contradict somebody else's, something else's. Oh boy. These summation examinations take a long time, but I do enjoy them much more than the Athena Sykes mood matrices, or matrices, sorry. So there's that at least. Let me read a couple comments in the chat though, because I'm still behind. Let's see, Vero says, laughing, that's even better. Oh, the being a judge, or... Oh, the little elf making all the glasses in his home says, just tiny chalice elves. Magpie says, that's such a strange addition to the bat lore. Queen Katie says, I feel so bad for one of the Discord servers I'm in. People keep getting hacked with the Mr. Beast scam and posting in the server every day. I feel for the mod so much. Is it just like a really big server? Queen Katie says, lol, Rolly and Patricia on the side behind, adorbs. Magpie says, weirdly, I found the English who have Oxford do not frequently use Oxford commas. It drives me a little bit nuts. I am a big proponent of the Oxford comma. I think that it clarifies things. Sometimes you may feel it's unnecessary, but like, if you have the choice between sometimes being unnecessary but always being clear versus never being unnecessary but sometimes being unclear, I'll take the occasional unnecessary extra comma if it makes sure that you're always clear. Vero says, I've seen so many Transformers X Project Hail Mary fan arts. Oh, that's right. You posted one on Discord. I need to go back, or did you do it, or was it Queen Katie? I need to go back and see what it was. Wasn't it like Omega Supreme as the spaceship or something? And someone drew the ships as Transformers playing Ring Around the Rosie to show them going in circles around each other, which is cute. Oh, that's great. Queen Katie says, I got ice cream. It's an eggnog ice cream tube? Yeah, I don't know either. I'm not a fan of eggnog, but I think mostly it's a texture thing, so maybe it'd be better as ice cream. And Vera says, how is it? Queen Katie says, somehow good, actually. Vera says, is it a subtle sweet? And Queen Katie says, you can at least tell it's ice cream with a taste. That kind of classic, yippee, I'm so happy. And Magpie says, good job, Queen Katie. And Queen Katie says, I'm so glad the clip worked. Oh, so, okay. I'm getting very close on Twitch because we just barely watched that clip. Let me take a look at YouTube chat. Toshi says, I'm crocheting a dinosaur. Oh, that's so cute. I've one of our friends who's popped in hasn't been in the chat for a while. I don't know if you guys remember Sir Charles the Cow, coworker of mine, was a couple times I was there. Actually, I don't know the difference between crocheting and other. I think crocheting, but it was like little sleeves for things and stuff like that. It was like, I guess more practical, but I think a dinosaur is delightful. Toshi said, also, I would rather be a prosecutor. And then Radiant says, I unwrapped my wrist so I could let it be exposed to fresh air for a little while before I rewrap it. I hope it doesn't, like, I assume that you're allowed to do that. I hope the fresh air on your wrist feels good. Derma says, students, I believe. Okay, so that does make sense, because I'd forgotten at first that there were a lot of those, and they could probably, like, just cast a whole bunch of people. That's so fun. Says, yes, that is in the fire codes. My grandpa was a firefighter, so you can be sure our house is up to code. They make numbered candles. Get a 7 and a 5 candle. Oh yeah, or that. It's quite simple. And the Derma says, Gregson's Infinite Fish and Chips would pair nicely with Jones' Infinite Tea. Okay, if Gregson ever gets fired from the police, he needs to open a restaurant called Gregson's Infinite Fish and Chips. And it's an all-you-can-eat fish and chips place. It sounds great, Gregson's Infinite Fish and Chips. Of course, he's just like pulling them out of his butt the whole time, so that's kind of gross, but it would be infinite. I should play some more game, but I need a sip of water. Also, we're almost halfway through the stream. I don't know how that happens. I lose track of time hanging out with you guys because I love hanging out with you guys. You guys have no idea how much it brightens my day getting to spend time with y'all. So thank you for being here. Okay, let's get back into this.
Now that you mention it, yes, the window was open at the time. I'd clean forgotten, but it's true.
So we gotta press, hold it! The fourth book found at the scene of the crime shows very obvious signs of fire damage. And the title of the book is The Lion's Pride. The same title, in fact, as the book that Mr. Garadeb told us he had been reading. Did we, get a written statement from him? Or is this just honor system that the judge is trusting us on this?
Well, I really couldn't say.
On the day in question, did you or did you not throw at your husband the copy of The Lion's Pride that he had been reading?
I did.
Oh, okay, there we go.
It was the first thing I could lay my hands on, so I hurled it straight at him. And now you come to mention it, yes. He was rather enjoying reading it, you're right.
Okay, but here's the thing though. She would have had to pick it up a second time because you throw it once and it would land over there where the candle fell over and the fire started. Then she'd have to pick it up and throw it a second time, right? Ah! Why did you not reveal this information to the court from the outset?
Oh, because I couldn't, you insolent little man. I didn't remember. Times like that, you pick up and throw whatever you can lay your hands on, as well you know. I assume everyone else does this too. It helps me sleep better at night knowing I do it, if I've tricked myself into thinking other people do it. It's like when people say everybody pees in the shower. I know not everybody pees in the shower, but then I feel less shame peeing in the shower.
That is my theory, by the way. Have you ever heard people say, oh, everybody pees in the shower? I have never peed in the shower. I have never been tempted to pee in the shower. And I always see people who do pee in the shower. It's like, oh, everybody does it. You're just assuming that because you do that. No shame to people who pee in the shower, but I think it's weird. I really don't.
I barely noticed I was throwing a book.
Oh, wait, what's he there?
Much less the title of it.
Oh, wait, what is he all upset about? Okay, pursue him. Excuse me. What is it, juror number 5?
Hey, you know something? I remember what it was. That memory I'd blocked out.
Huh?
I was listening to what that granny was saying. Brought it all flooding back.
Is it because he called her a granny?
Oh, you call her granny, you cheeky devil. I'm Mrs. Garadeb, the maid, I'll have you know.
The man doesn't even flinch. Please tell me that's not because he's so used to being hit all the time. Well, he's a burly guy. Maybe he's used to being hit on. He's a handsome lad.
It was about 2 weeks ago now. I just got back home after work, like. Put me hand in me pocket for the wages I just earned that day, and I nearly died. There was a hole. Every last penny had dropped out.
Oh dear. What a disaster. But I only look like this. I don't know if I'm showing empathy properly.
You haven't heard the half of it, boy.
Oh?
The wife was cutting up some chicken at the time.
Oh, did she use her knife?
I could hardly get words out, but I told her straight, I've lost the day's wages, love. Next thing I knew, the blade was whistling past me ear. Stuck into the wall next to me, it did, about an inch deep.
Okay. So obviously the theory we're going to go with after this is that Mrs. Garadeb threw a knife out the window and it stabbed Olive Green. The good news is that means I can hopefully stop suspecting Rolly Beat. Unless the knife was out there and Rolly said, why is there a knife on the ground and not in this lady's back? Stab. Like that. Huh? No words, just terror.
I could smell it then, you know. That awful stench of the Thames. I was sure I was going to end up face down in the muddy banks that night, I can tell you. Now, that's a real disaster, isn't it? In retrospect, we should probably have my wife arrested for attempted murder. But I love her so much. She's got a really killer rack.
I'll never use the word lightly again.
Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is this. When women lose their rag, they'll throw anything at you. Knives, hatchets, hammers, you name it.
Mr. Naruhodo, you mustn't think that all women are so short-tempered and unrefined. Granted. Okay, 2 out of the 3 cases before this, a woman did the murder. But I haven't yet. I mean, I will someday kill somebody. I haven't yet. No, I wasn't thinking that. Throwing household objects at people is, well, it's so uncivilized. At least attack with honor, using a bow or the like. Huh?
Susato takedown.
Oh, you're right. She is violent. She did that dodge multiple times. I completely forgot. You know how a lot of the time we'll play a game and the game will have an overarching theme? Like when we played Persona 3, the theme is all about coming to terms with the inevitability of death. I think the theme of this game is that women are scary. But thank you very much for the 10 bits. What? Attack? Who are you going to attack?
Never mind. Anyway, this man's words could be rather significant, I think.
All right, we'll come back to the bow and arrow thing later, if I dare. Wow, and none of the jurors have changed their opinions yet. We need to save again, because we're almost to the halfway point in the stream tonight. Save. And I'll read a couple more comments in the chat. Quiggita says, now I don't have to rush to clip from Twitch. Magpie says, Glass Onion is the sequel to Knives Out. I can't remember what the third movie is called. Wait, there's a third one? Quiggita said, wake up, dead man. And Magpie says, thank you. And Vero says, high five. Magpie says, Phoenix drinks grape juice because the director legitimately just likes grape juice. Baroque drinks wine because he's an alcoholic. Lol. I thought it was like that maybe the creator was like against drinking alcohol or something and didn't want it in there, so that's nice. Vex says, hello, I'm very late. There's where Vex came in. How you doing, Vex? And Vero says, hooey, Vex. And there was a pin message from earlier about jury duty, duty. Let me take a look over to YouTube chat. Dermo says, quote, she threw a knife out the window where it happened to fall in such a way that it stabbed someone in the back. I mean, it is possible. You know, I remember when I was a kid, we'd always hear stories where it's like, you know, if you're ever visiting New York and you go up to the top of the Empire State Building, don't throw a penny off of it because it could kill someone if it hits them in the head. I remember seeing a video that was like trying to analyze whether it was true or not, but it was also one of those videos that was trying to pad out the length of it to like 10 minutes straight just for monetization, so I think I gave up and watched it. So I don't know if that actually would. It's entirely possible that maybe it wouldn't. But I mean, again, stranger things have happened. You chuck a knife and stab. Lady didn't actually die. I am still worried that it might be Rolly, but I would rather Mrs. Garadib go to prison because she's also an abusive so-and-so. And the Derma says, is it just me who gets justice for all case 3 vibes? Okay, justice for all, that was the Franziska one. Case 3 was, which one was case 3? Was that the Mask to Mask one? With the guy with the long nose? Also, I try to remember which case that was. And Dora says, I don't use Oxford commas. No! How dare you? I don't use Oxford commas. As far as I know, it's an American thing, despite the name. But it like, have you ever seen those memes where they talk about it cases where not using it can make things confusing? I'm just, okay. Even if it is an American thing, sometimes us Americans get things right. Generally about commas. I like our commas. Radiant says, why does everybody have 75 XP? Wait, over on YouTube? Huh?
I think that chatter is talking about the cursed statue flying cape trick in case 3 of Justice for All.
Oh, that was Justice for All. Holy crap. Yes, turnabout Big Top. Oh my gosh. When the cape gets on the statue, that was the worst moment in any Ace Attorney game. Far worse than even in Spirit of Justice when you hear, what's his name, Inga's full name and crap like that. Oh my gosh. It was Turnabout Big Top? Yeah, because I remember outside the circus, Phoenix was having to explain like how Edgeworth wasn't around anymore. Oh my gosh. Yes, holy crap. Is that what you meant, Dermo? And Radiant says, except for me, so bad thing. I actually don't know how that works over there. I think it's based on like the amount you post in the chat. I don't know. Dermo says, Radiant is to do with how long you've been commenting in the stream. It's utterly meaningless, really. It is kind of meaningless. I mean, I think it probably is designed, in theory, to get people to compete against each other. Like, I want to post more, and so it, like, drives up engagement. But, ultimately, you don't get any prizes from it that I'm aware of. I always just forget about it. But either way, Radiant, even if you have lower XP than others, I still think you're awesome. All right, we should play some game. So, what's the new statement say?
Woman in a rage will hurl almost anything at you. Kitchen knife really brought that home to me.
So we're probably going to compare that to the racist lady's statement where she said we need an alternative way that she could get killed. But first, let's press this, see if he has other content, other delightful things to say. Your wife really threw a kitchen knife at you?
That's right. She was chopping meat with it. Had a tidy edge on it, believe me. Still, it's all memories, isn't it? It started with that smile she threw at me when we were courting. Tried to stab me then, too. She loves stabbing. It's the only thing she loves more than me. And since then, the list of things she's thrown at me has grown along with our relationship. There was a cup, and a glass, and a pot, a kettle. Oh, those two called each other black. A chair, wardrobe, a cooker, a bathtub.
Your wife must be even beefier than you.
And things came to a head last week when she threw me right into the Thames. Still, she's not so bad when she's calmed down. She's a little sweetheart, really.
I'm so happy for you.
If you want to know what I think this whole idea of ladies first that we're so obsessed with in this country was thought up by some clever lads who've been tossed in the Thames a few too many times by their wives.
That's a very interesting theory. We should go back and ask Lady First from the previous trial. What a terrible thought! On the face of it, this juror's statement just sounds like a really extreme anecdote. Couldn't be related to the case at all. But I think it might turn out to be an extremely powerful weapon, like a knife thrown out a window. A weapon I might be able to use to make the jurors accept an alternative explanation here. Okay, so let's save, and then we're gonna pit his statement against racist lady's statement, right? So save. Because I'm scumming my saves just in case I'm dumb, as I often am with Ace Attorney games. Yeah. Okay, so I wanna pit you. Against you, there was some novel alternative explanation about how the victim was stabbed I might reconsider. So let's do that. Pit objection. Those two statements clearly have a deeply significant connection. Good grief, you mean they don't contradict each other? Explain, counsel, at once. Juror number 2, do you think perhaps that this could be one such novel alternative?
Oh my, whatever do you mean?
Hand on my sword handle. An alternative explanation as to how the victim was stabbed in the back.
What are you talking about? Totally illogical pose I take when I'm surprised.
We've demonstrated that the fourth book, The Lion's Pride, was found at the scene of the crime, originated in Mr. Garadeb's room on the top floor of his house. Therefore, it's equally possible that some other object besides the book could have found its way from the Garadeb household to the street below. Is there any evidence that we have on the knife when we examined it that it could have been Garadeb's? We opened it up and the tip of it was chipped. Oh, but there's not like a G on it or anything like that. Okay. I mean, I guess it might make sense that a military man would have a pocket knife.
And what's that now?
After all, Mrs. Garadeb could have thrown any number of different objects at her husband. Isn't that right, juror number 4?
What are you insinuating now, you little beanpole?
I'm beginning to think that ever since the true origins of this book came to light, perhaps she's had a feeling this might be what happened. See, she knows. She's worried she did a murder. Now, you listen here, you English, not English, Eastern, I don't know. The way he's saying that sounds like a slur. As the foreman of this jury, I demand a straight answer. You give us this yarn about some other object making its way out of the house, but what? What was it? Am I gonna just present the knife? I'm really taking a big gamble here. That was a bold accusation to make, but I haven't any real evidence to back it up. But I'm certain that at the very least, this warrants further investigation. All right, Mr. Foreman, I'll try to explain the defense's theory. The other object that found its way from the Garadeb household to the scene of the crime was the knife! Present! Take that! Juror number 4, Mrs. Garadeb.
What now?
I must apologize in advance for this. But I need you to confirm something else for the court. I was gonna ask if that knife belonged to her husband. This knife. Have you ever seen this knife before?
Oh, F. I did a murder.
Counsel, what on earth are you doing? That's the weapon that was lodged into the victim's back, man! Okay, but this worries me because this is happening so early in this part of the trial. This can't be the solution. I mean, it's possible that Van Zieks will just say, like, where's your evidence? We gotta prove it somehow. But this is making me worry about Rolly again, that it feels like we're approaching the finish line a bit earlier than we ought to. Where'd the cute couple go? They're gone. Oh, wait, no, were they still there? I should have paid more attention. Maybe they were there. I was looking off to the side. They probably were still there. No, because I think I'm at the stand because of the summation or whatever. My lord, remember that when the victim was attacked, Mr. and Mrs. Garadeb were in the throes of an argument. Mrs. Garadeb was hurling anything she could at her husband, who'd been backed up against the window. A window that had been opened to clear the smoke, and through which a book sailed to land at the crime scene. You can't seriously believe that? The book was found in the victim's grasp. Yeah, people pick up things, you dingus. Are you saying that it flew out of the window and across the street to land neatly in her hand? People pick up things!
Even me missus hasn't got aim like that.
People pick up things! In the first case, Ryunosuke was dumb enough to pick up a loaded gun! Yes, I admit, there are many details we don't yet understand, or it's also, I guess, possible that maybe if Rolly did stab her, he shoved the book in her hand, but why? But that's the point. That's precisely why we must not allow this trial to end. Not right now. Oh my. Mrs. Garadeb, your answer, please. Have you seen this knife before or not? I mean, she has the least motivation to. We should call Mr. Garadeb in, and without telling him the explanation of what's going on, no context, ask him, have you seen this knife before? I think that we're more likely to get an honest answer that way.
Thud, I'm dead. Goodbye, cruel world. Hope you have an alternative juror in mind to replace me.
My lord! Oh, so I wish to change my decision. Oh, I'm a woman of my word, after all. Thank you, madam.
Yes, I agree. I certainly didn't see this coming, but...
Oh, he's overcoming his hatred for us.
I just don't think it would be right for this trial to come to an end now with so many unanswered questions.
Mr. Foreman!
I'd have to agree. Not that I think the granny didn't mind.
I think she did. Yes, you know what? I'm not quite happy about this at the moment either.
All together now, ladies and gentlemen.
Was that the old man?
He's just like, that woman just died.
Oh, yeah, we only needed 4. We got 4. I guess that's good enough. Yay. We did it!
Oh, congratulations, Mr. Naruhodo.
Yeah. So, as a result of the defense's summation examination, a number of jurors' leanings have changed. 2 jurors called guilty against 4 now calling innocent. One of those 2 is dead, though. She's dead. We could easily blame it on her. Are we okay with that? I'd like to take an early lunch. Accordingly, the opinion of this court is divided. And this trial will continue.
Yeah, where are the beats? I missed the beats. We got nice velvet ropes in here, though. But where are the beats?
Yay. Now then, Lord Van Zeeks, how does the prosecution wish to proceed?
With booze. This trial is rapidly descending into a farce. Like a corked wine, the first few sips are bitter enough. But what follows is so repugnant, it's good for nothing save the gutter.
Queen Katie, we got a new bottle and a broken glass all at once. We made it through the summation examination. I'm going to celebrate by reading some more chat because I'm still behind. Let's see, over on the Twitch chat, Vex says, never put on a full trial, but I did get to see the inside of a courtroom before the case was dismissed the next day. That's neat. Were you looking forward to it? I know a lot of people dread it, but some people might like it. Queen Katie says Vex. Vera says hilarious. Queen Katie says ha. Vera says should have had you in the game for it. Vex says hi, Queen Katie. And then Queen Katie said never done jury duty, but I would be dismissed ASAP because what? I'm sorry, I can't hear you. I'm deaf and I'm nosy. I don't think you would trust me with a case. Well, when I was called as a witness, when I witnessed that drunk driving incident, it was funny because they bring in all the prospective jurors, and they have a bit where before jury selection, the judge asks if any of the jury members, to check with them to see if any of them have a reason to think they would not be acceptable jurors. And one of them, this guy stands up and mentions that he has he basically says, I have a brain issue that makes it difficult for me to remember things after about a minute. So basically just really bad short-term memory. It's after about a minute, I just forget things. And the judge just kind of goes, would this prevent you from remembering what people say in their testimonies? He's like, yeah. He's like, you can go. You can go. So I'm glad that he spoke up. Quickett says, by nosy, I mean I would scramble my brain the whole time and would see this, you would see smoke from my head, and then somehow turn into, sorry, I zoned out. What's the current problem? And then if it was Ace Attorney universe, Betty DeFame would get up there and he'd be like, Betty with a heart, and you wouldn't believe anything that she said could be a lie. Let me take a look over at YouTube chat. Let's see, I gotta scroll up. Durma says, or read that, Radiant says, it's a potentiality that I'm allergic to the adhesive that I wrapped it in because I have rashes on both sides of my wrist. I am so sorry. I don't think I've ever discovered an actual allergy that I have. I have some things I suspect I might be allergic to, but I've never bothered to confirm. I hope you're okay. Durma says, Radiant, that's definitely an allergy. Find a new adhesive. Yes, please take care. Or maybe you could find a non-adhesive bandage. I think, I used to have one in my house that you just wrap up really tight and use a safety pin to shut the ends of it. Radiant says, I put anti-itching ointment on to try and combat the rashes. I hope it's okay, that your wrist is okay. Durma says, bandages shouldn't cause rashes. And Radiant says, well, I tried to find a new brand of bandages. Yeah, definitely an adhesive allergy. Well, okay, and here's the thing. I will say, we obviously don't give medical advice here. I would just say, get it figured out and taken care of please. Derma says, Derma says, I have never peed in the shower. The toilet's in the same room. Yeah, okay, there's that. And just also, I don't know if you realize, but I don't know about you guys, but when I'm standing in the shower, like the water that hits the ground doesn't like instantly go down the drain. It's like there and then it goes down the drain. And so you're standing in like a little puddle, basically. There's wet on, if you pee in the shower, you're standing in your pee. That's just gross. Plus, depending what type of shower you have, like what I have here, it's a very small shower, but it can be used as a bathtub as well. It's a very, very small bathtub, but you could. And you wouldn't want to pee in that, because then what if you ever want to take a bath? Then it's like, okay, you'd have to scrub it down, but you'll know that you'd be stewing in something you'd been peeing in. I wouldn't want to take a bath in my toilet bowl. And the Derma says, lads, y'all need higher standards in relationships. Oh, talk about them with their violent wives. My standards for fighting a girl are lowering by the day. Let's see, over on Twitch, Vex says, doing all right, all things considered, thankful to be done with jury duty, because there was a lot of waiting and it seems like no one really ended up on trial. The threat of a jury does a lot of lifting, it seems. Which makes sense. I mean, I wouldn't want to like have to go to trial for something. And Vera says, I want to be in a 12 Angry Men situation where you're the Peter Fonda character. Wasn't Peter Fonda, was that the guy? The protagonist who's like trying to convince everybody else? That could be fun. And Quieta said, yeah, this is better than Mood Matrix Law. Oh, it's so much better. Oh, so much better. Let's play a little bit more. Let me have a sip of water first, though. Hang on one second. For those who are lurking, thank you for putting up with all the breaks I have to catch up with chat. Oh, wait, did we miss something? Van Zeek says, what did he say? What would follow? Oh, yeah, we already got that. If I may, Lord Van Zeeks, the defense has just put forward a credible alternative explanation for what happened.
Credible? Is that your considered opinion, Mr. Foreman? The defense's argument is a joke to which I barely know how to respond, but let me start by insisting that you all must familiarize yourselves better with... Oh, okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna say that if the knife went out like this and she's down here and her back is here, how did the knife, as it went down, it needs to not land like that, it needs to land like that. But again, what if she's, the old man juror, he slipped in the snow. Also, like the book, I said she might have seen picked up. I was like, oh, there's a book on the ground. So the knife is going out, she like leans over, I'm gonna pick up a book. And then it goes, oh, I'm stabbed in the back, oh. I got spider legs for some reason, so I'm just like that. And so, yeah, that makes us... That you must all familiarize yourselves with better with the relative positions of those places being discussed.
What do you mean by that? What's his angle this time? 90 degree for the knife. Like probably a 30 degree. I don't know.
It should already be more than apparent that between the crime scene and the Gerriteb household runs a rather wide street, Briar Road.
Also, what if she was like closer and then got stabbed? Is like, oh, I got stabbed, staggers across street, staggers, and falls down.
Which means the distance from the Gerriteb's house to the scene is 15 yards.
Let me see. Okay, I got to do some calculations. 15 yards. That's around 14 meters! Sorry, meters.
14 meters? Oh, that's a little farther than I imagined. You've been there, bro.
And as you ladies and gentlemen of the jury rightfully noted as having portentous significance, the fourth book was found in the victim's clutches. In other words, the smoldering book wantonly hurled by the lady of the house traveled some 15 yards to land on the opposite side of the road, neatly between the collapsed victim's fingers and thumb.
This is one of those things that is so stupid that they're trying to make him sound smart by saying this. And maybe it will end up that she didn't pick it up, that it was just shoved in her hand. Maybe Rolly stabbed her and put it, I don't know why he would do that, but maybe he did. But again, like all we gotta do is a reasonable explanation. thrown out landed. She's like, oh, what's this? A book? Huh, funny that. I'm gonna start walking around. Oh, stab. Oh, stagger, 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 fall. Explains everything, and it's very reasonable.
Is that your final conclusion, my learned and deluded friend?
Oh, that's a bad adjective.
Indeed, the jackknife follow a near identical trajectory to plunge into the middle of the victim's back. This fantasy is somewhat stretching the notion of having a bad day for the victim, I think. Even those pathetic serialized detective stories have more believable plots.
There's nothing I can say to that.
That prosecutor loves the sound of his own voice. Also, why are you so stupid, Naruto? Like, say, this is...
We're dumb. We're so dumb. Miss Osato?
Serialized detective stories are pathetic, are they? How dare he?
Maybe let's pick our battles here.
My lord, might I be allowed to speak?
Oh, a judicial assistant. You may speak for the defense. Yes, go ahead.
The prosecution may consider the idea a fantasy. But what the defense has postulated was believable enough to persuade the jury to change its leaning. And as such, the court has a duty to explore this alternative explanation as thoroughly as possible. To that end. Oh, I look sad. Tears are in my eyes. Oh, they're gone now. I did back up in my tear ducts. That's how they work. Jury number 4, Mrs. Joan Garadeb, must be called to testify and submit to cross-examination
And be taken off the jury! Saints alive! A cross-examination of a juror? That's why you have alternates, Judge.
Do we not have alternates? Do we suck at this?
Oh, but the beats are back, and their scarf is connected, Esau. Order, order, order! Well, this is highly irregular. It is unprecedented for a member of the jury to be summoned to the witness stand.
Objection!
Sorry, I know sometimes I can be such a B-word. And unnecessary.
Lord Van Zeeks! Also, Queen Katie, we got a smashed bottle. Oh, that's me. Yeah.
There are already witnesses in the stand whose testimony the defense may further cross-examine. If my learned friend's farcical theory has any truth in it, then both a burning book and a jackknife must have flown through the sky before the couple's eyes.
The knife is small.
And we must assume they would be able to testify accordingly.
I don't mind hearing from them. They're adorable. They make me believe in young love. What say you, witnesses?
Yes, sir. Constable Rolly Beat reporting for duty, sir. Duty.
Huh?
Well, good morning, officer.
Sorry for dozing until now, sir. I haven't slept for a month on account of a villain who's appeared on my beat, sir.
Wait, a villain who's appeared on his beat? Is that gonna be the flamboyant, foppish guy that we saw on the street with the bright yellow blonde curly wig?
Oh, they are so heroic, these London bobbies. And the London boobies. That's the name for lady cops.
Patricia, my darling, I've been neglecting you, but no more.
Oh, Rolly, my hero, you make me swoon. Very well, I hereby reject the defense's request
Oh.
and order the witnesses in the stand to testify again.
state forthwith before the court any details pertaining to the defense's alternative explanation of events. Yes, sir. Witness testimony. Constable Beats report.
Let's save again. It's been a little while since we've done that. We're also getting close to the 2-hour mark. So we still got plenty of time. I am curious from Queen Katie, since you have a list of how many things we've got to do in this. Can you give us like a ballpark estimate of how far into this part of the trial we are? I'm like, do you think that we're going to be able to finish this tonight? I'm going to read some more in the chat though. Hang on. Queen Katie says, we should totally do the tier list someday of different things in Ace Attorney. We should. I mean, because we're going to be finishing. I did hear that there's like some... I saw there was like some rumored leak about a new Ace Attorney thing. I don't know if it's just gonna, maybe it'll be a port of the Professor Layton game. Maybe they're finally working on Ace Attorney 7. Queen Katie says, it was a small server for a Pokemon fan game, so there's only about 3 mods from what I counted. They're planning to discuss with each other a way to stop the scam from happening again, because it was like 5 times the past week. Queen Katie said, yeah, it was me. I posted cute Hail Mary Transformers crossover there during your yaps. I need to go back and check it out. I gotta scroll up and find it. And a timestamp, 1 hour, 21 minutes. Oh, look at that. We're only like 35 minutes behind. That is nothing on the Twitch side of the chat. And then Queen Katie says, oh my gosh, are we talking about the statue thing again? It's wild, by the way, that I can remember the order of cases off my mind, but not the name of the case. Lol, huh?
This is the second to last testimony in the case. But the final testimonies paragraph is way shorter than this one.
Well, and the thing is that some of these testimonies also they'll like have the testimony, and then you'll have like a half hour of yapping before we get to do the cross-examination. So we'll see. So it is possible we might finish this case tonight. But if we don't tonight, it sounds like we probably will on Sunday. But thank you very much for the 10 bits. Let me take a look over the YouTube chat real quick. Let's see. Radiant says, so apparently my dumb self bought bike grip tape instead of KT tape. Okay, so that probably has a much harsher adhesive. So that's why a rash formed. Well, I hope you're able to get that taken care of then, Radiant. A rash does not sound fun. Durba says, quote, women are scary. Orocoroni. Durba says, Radiant, oh no, hope you're okay. Radiant says, yeah, I should be fine. And Durba says, I agree the Oxford comma makes sense, but after 20 years of not using one, I can't view it as anything but a typo. And I guess that's fair. It depends on what you're used to. As I said, I'm a fan of it. Let's see. Radiant says, one person in live chat. Is it just me? And Durba says, no, that number is always off. Yeah, and it fluctuates. It's weird. I don't know how they track it, but there are some times that we will have over on YouTube only one person at a time. A lot of it depends on A, what game we're playing, because sometimes we play games that are less popular, and also B, if there's something else going on that night, if we're like competing against the game awards. So yeah, sometimes it'll be a ghost town, but for those who are here and often here, I appreciate all you guys. Radiant says, can someone get a duty counter? Sorry, I don't think we have a counter of it. We do have a command over on Twitch. What game was it that we started doing that in? I think it was it Ace Attorney Investigations? I don't know why. One of the games we were playing, Radiant, like, I want to say like 2 years ago, we started doing, it might have been Spirited Justice. I don't know, we started doing this thing whenever someone would say duty, we duty. And at one point I was like, okay, chat, maybe I should stop doing the duty jokes. And chat was like, no, you gotta keep doing it. So we keep doing it. And Durba says, aren't knives weight balanced on the handle? That penknife is either spinning wildly or handle first, but I can't see it being blade first with any force. I mean, well, maybe if she threw it, I mean, it would spin. But again, if it isn't her, then if it isn't Joan Garadeb, I mean, she probably threw it out, but it also might have been fastened shut. Then the only other person who would have the opportunity would be Rolly here, and that would break poor Patricia's heart. I would feel terrible if he did a murder. I mean, maybe, how about this? Olive Green wasn't stabbed, she slipped and fell, and Patricia goes to run to get to a police box to call for help. She comes to, sees Rolly there, and is like, oh, I've seen you walking around. Your wife is a horrible person. It throws him into a murderous rage. He's like, oh, stab. Because you saw how he acted when he was trying to defend her. He pulled out a revolver and was ready to start murdering everyone in the courtroom. He does have violence behind those sparkly blue eyes. Let's see, Frulzy says, there's also just being EP. I'm caught up on YouTube. YouTube! Let me have a sip of water to celebrate, and we'll get back into the game. All right, let's play. What's Rolly saying here?
This case has nothing to do with Mr. and Mrs. Garadab. Believe me, a London Bobby is good for his word. You see, sir, the windows on the top floor of the Garadab house are top-hinged casements.
Oh, so that means they open that way, and so if he throws something out, it's gonna hit the window and fall downward. But again, she picks up the book, but that wouldn't help with a knife. But what's that, Nora? Rated with a party of 3. Welcome, Nora. How is Persona 5? Welcome. Would Vero or Crystal, whoever's here? Wait, if we, yeah, would someone be so kind as to do a quick shout out for Nora? Sequel. Oh, Hero. I hate Hero. Yeah, that is what he was talking about. Hero was a character who just existed to make things needlessly difficult. Nora, how is your stream? Welcome! So one of your 3 raiders coming with you, I'm sure is Oak, but if there are new people coming in with the raid, let me give you the quick rundown. Hi, everybody. My name is Logan. We stream Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Sundays. We are now alternating between this, our main game, the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Currently, we're cross-examining this adorable couple, Rolly and Patricia Beat. And we're alternating with smaller games. This week, we are playing a little bit of Hollow Knight. Next week, I'm hoping to have my computer taken care of with some stuff to be able to resume Pragmata. And yeah, other games we've played in the past include Danganronpa, Ace Attorney, Persona, Omori, Deltarune, stuff like that. So welcome, everybody. And Streamlabs just happened to do a timer that posts our link tree. And I should be posting this periodically in both chats. Let me copy that over and post it in YouTube as well. Over there, Dermo saying, Frulzy, speaking of, I need to ... Slan. Good night, Dermo. Thank you for being here. Sleep well. Thank you for sticking around for the first couple of hours. Have a good rest of your day, your good morning there. But so I don't know if you're sleeping or whatever you're doing. Thank you for being here, Dermo. And thank you, Nora, for the raid. How was Persona 5? Without giving spoilers to the chat for the people who have not played it, how far are you into it? I think Oak was saying you're about 11 hours into Persona 5. So are you in like the first dungeon yet? How's it going? All right, let's hear this testimony from this delightful couple. So yeah, this is the problem. It's a top hinged window, so anything that's thrown out would like hit the glass and fall straight down. But again, she could pick up the book. It makes it sound like somebody outside would have found the knife then and stabbed her. But again, I think Rolly might be the only person who'd have the opportunity to do that because he was the only person left alone with Olive Green when Patricia ran off to go check or call in a police box, you know? Okay, let's play a little bit of the game.
Obviously, if anything had been thrown out of the window, we would have seen it. I did leave the scene to go and fetch help, but my trusty Rolly was there to make sure nothing was disturbed.
I didn't take my eye off the crime scene for one moment, sir. Nothing strange to report on that front, sir.
Well, this is quite startling. Top-hinged casement windows! I mean, because of the implications about the evidence, but also I hate those kind of windows. They remind me of being in school. Oh, it's me! Oh, it's a later Danganronpa. Look away, Nora! It's the RP spoilers. I mean possible visual spoilers of like characters and stuff. Crystal! Thank you for the clip roulette. I couldn't even hear myself on that. I need to crank up the volume on that at some point. In fact, let me try and do that right now. I bet I could find that on here. There we go. I've cranked up the volume on the shout out player. So we'll see next time if it's louder. Or crap, did I try that once and it was like way too loud and I had to crank it way down? I think I may have just screwed things up. Okay, once we get to some background music, I'll read some more of the chat.
That detail was not on the police report.
During battle.
Let's go.
Resay will periodically aid you.
Is that better? Can you guys hear it better?
Oh god.
It doesn't change to me. I just changed the output on it. So, yeah, were you guys able to hear that better? Anyway, let's play the game, as I said, until we get to some music here.
That detail was not on the police report, Constable.
Yes, I'm sorry about that. I must have been a little drowsy.
You cannot excuse your sins with drowsiness every time, Constable.
No, sir.
Sorry, but, what exactly is a top-hinged casement window? Oh, then why don't I put it back in there?
And you cannot excuse your ignorance with such trite remarks, my learned friend.
Of course. Sorry.
I found it, Mr. Naruhodo. Cast your mind back to the windows in Mr. and Mrs. Garadeb's room.
All right, I'll try. Go.
So the window opens in order to allow air to circulate inside the house.
Yeah, it opens like that.
But as it's a top-hinged casement window, it swings open along the upper edge, you see.
I'm glad you've rectified your ignorance. A casement window's most prominent feature is its stay, a metal bar which prevents the window from being opened beyond a certain amount.
It prevents it opening?
This is all news to me.
Absolutely correct, sir. In other words, if a book or knife were to have been thrown through the open window, it would have clattered against the pane and fallen straight down to the pavement below.
No!
You see the problem then? Good. Your education in windows is complete. There was never any possibility of either the books or the knife traveling 15 yards over the road. That is, unless the window pane had been shattered, something we've discounted already.
That can't be!
Did you see that, really? That young Japanese man just collapsed in agony.
Oh, yes, my darling, I saw it. I saw how he crumbled before me.
Oh, Rolly, you're so strong. How is this happening? I haven't even started the cross-examination yet, and already my argument's been destroyed. Counsel, if you could drag yourself upright again, the court awaits your cross-examination. Ah. Lord. Oh, good. Another desperate situation. Ryunosuke really got to work on his poker face here. Cross-examination! Constable Beats, report. All right, you guys know the drill. We save, and then we press every statement, and then we'll figure out what we're going to be presenting evidence to. But before we do any of that, I want to read some more in the chat, because I'm still behind. And we even just had people coming in with a raid, and I want to say hi to everybody. I need to talk to y'all. I need to do chat. I believe, yeah, I'm still caught up on YouTube, but I can catch up a bit more on the Twitch side. Let's see. Queen Katie says, I knew it was case 3 of Justice for All, but not with case, it was called Turnabout Big Top, and a timestamp, 1 hour 35. Okay, I'm still over a half hour behind on Twitch. Queen Katie says, Juror 1 living to his fair play name. That's our number 10 glass. That many already said. Oh, and our 7th broken glass, Betty Hart. She has a bat, so she must be telling the truth. And Queen Katie with the hydrate command, thank you very much. I will do that right now, Queen Katie. And Vex using the duty command that I was just telling Radiant about. Quiggita says, that's our 2nd tossed bottle, according to my notes. I think so. That sounds about right. We're totally in the end game for the case if he's tossed a bottle. Why can he can like probably get 3 of them. Like if they go in between each of his pincher fingers, get 3 on each hand. He can toss 6 at once. He should do that at some point. Veer said, I hope he had a good nap. Oh, we're talking about sweet little Rolly here. Quiggita says he didn't sleep for a month. He's got to be seeing things at this point, right? And then Quickity says, Spirit of Justice, cause the best girl, Rafa. And there's the Nora raid. Oak says, Nora raid, we will stab you. Oh, so I got to be really close to catching up now. I zipped way ahead. Nora says, Nora's raiding in. We hope her tears don't mess up your stream. And then Nora says, I broke my desk? What did you do? How? Were you doing the thing that I did with the kicking on the counter? Quickity said, Nora, what? And then Quickity says, what do you mean you broke what? And Nora says, the track on my desk broke. Oh, for like pulling out the keyboard or something? And Vex says, did you pull a Van Zeek's leg slam? And then Oak says, my butt hurts and I'm sleepy and I have therapy tomorrow, so I will still watch, but I'll be lurking. Well, thank you for the lurk, Oak. I'm sorry you got a pain in your butt. But I hope you enjoy the last hour while you are here. Over on YouTube, Radiant says, I'm eating pizza right now. Burn. Typo. Very epically yummy. Like I said, I got a little bit of pizza here also if anybody wants some. That was my dinner tonight. Okay, let's cross-examine Nate. But I hope you're enjoying your pizza, Radiant. And thank you for holding down the fort since it looks like Dermo had to take off. Oh, I gotta get that straw again.
This case has nothing to do with Mr. and Mrs. Garadeb. Believe me, a London Bobby is good for his word.
Hold it! Hold it! How can you say that for certain?
Very good question, sir. And the answer is this. It has the noble founding principles of the Force written on it as a reminder to all us policemen of our sworn duty. Duty.
He showed us that before, didn't he?
Did he? I can't say that I remember. Do we have that in our court record yet? The Metropolitan Police warrant card, I think it says.
To patrol the streets of London town and uphold the peace of the common man is what the job's all about. And that is why I can say here today beside my long-suffering wife and tell you a Bobby's good for his word. While rubbing my tired eyes, admittedly, sir.
Oh, Rowley, you're so manly.
Of course I am, my darling Patricia. Oh, Pat.
Oh, Rowley! I like how he also doesn't have traditionally, like, overly masculine facial features. He's kind of goofy looking, but she loves him so much. No, none of this is what I meant. I meant, how can you say for certain that the case has nothing to do with Mr. and Mrs. Garadeb?
Oh, I see, sir. You should have said so earlier, sir.
Yes, well. So, could you answer the question? That was a waste of time, then.
Absolutely, sir. I will answer it to the fullest of my abilities, sir. There's a surprising reason why Mr. and Mrs. Garadeb's domestic dispute can't be related to this case. But before I get into that, sir, just one thing. My wife is hot.
Yes?
I'd very much like you and all your countrymen to understand the great British institution of Scotland Yard. So I hope you'll take back some tales of us London bobbies and how we uphold our guiding principles.
Oh, like back to Japan with us. I wasn't planning on going back just yet. I've only just arrived here.
So to that end, sir, I'd be happy to lend you my warrant card for your perusal.
Oh yeah, we'll finally get it added to our court record. We can read what's in it.
But I must warn you, you won't be able to get through it without shedding a few tears.
Thank you. I'll try. Constable Beat's warrant card has been entered into the court record, a small folding wallet that identifies London bobbies and contains the rules of conduct to which they must adhere. Okay, so let's take a look. I gotta be very careful here that I don't accidentally present it, but I want to read it, though. Here we go. Principles of Policing. Item 1. A policeman will strive to preserve the peace within the allotted beat. Item number 2. A patrolling officer is expected to walk 20 miles around his beat every day for the furtherance of community relations. Metropolitan Police Regulations. Item 1. Any crimes fall under the jurisdiction of the beat in which they're discovered. Item number 2. When a crime is discovered on his beat, a policeman must assist with the initial investigations and help detectives. Is this going to have something to do with the fact that he sent her to the police box? Because item number 1 makes it sound like that, yeah, because this wasn't part of his beat. He just happened to be out and about. And so that's why he had to get a different police officer, right? Are we gonna find out in a little bit that this actually was part of his beat? And that would make it sound like that was an excuse to get Patricia to leave, which would be like, does that mean he killed her? Not Patricia, and then not Olive either. She's technically alive. Which again, I feel like so much of this would also be solved if we just said, let's wait until she wakes up from her coma. Or at least wait more than 3 days. And then maybe she'll say oh, here's what happened. Let's do a bit more here.
You see, sir, the windows on the top floor of the Garrideb house are top-hinged casements.
Hold it! Hold it! By which you mean they don't open fully, is that correct?
Yes, sir. They're just here to allow a bit of air through the house, you see, so they're restricted as to how much they open.
And therefore, anything thrown out of the window from inside the room would simply strike the pane and fall to the street, directly below. For clarity, allow me to mark the map.
So it's good that we're pressing everything. We're getting new stuff on everything.
Logan, I'm pretty sure there was a 3rd page to that, wasn't it? I'd if I saw that correctly or not.
I think I had pressed over, but I think it just looped back around to the first page, and I believe it said 1 out of 2 and 2 out of 2. We can certainly check right now. So let's double check here. Yeah, because see in the lower right corner it says 1 out of 2, so it's Principles of Policing, Metropolitan Police Regulations, and if I press right to go further, it just goes back to Principles of Policing, and if I go left, see, it just loops all around. So it is just the 2. Who knows, maybe later we'll be like, we should check out some other pages, but for right now, it is just those 2 pages. But thank you very much for the 10 bits. After we finish this pressing, I will read some more in the chat. I do see we're on slow mode on Twitch now, which is probably nice.
Here is the location where objects would have fallen.
Yes, directly opposite the scene of the crime, on the other side of the rather wide road. Would it have been so hard for somebody to mention this top-hinged casement thing before? I mean, to be fair, we were in the apartment. We could have made a mental note of it ourselves. Well, I have another question for you, Constable.
And what would that be, sir?
How do you even know? Why would you have any idea what sort of windows Mr. and Mrs. Garrideb's house is furnished with?
Oh, well, sir, that's very simple.
Oh, is it gonna say it's on his beat? If it is, then we'll be able to present his principles as evidence to show that he should not have had her go to the police box.
You see, I helped with the official investigation yesterday.
Okay, she has something to say. Let's wait to pursue that until we press the other statements. I just want, because we might not have a chance to go back. I just want to see in case they have other content. So let's pause for a second, and I'll read a couple more comments to the chat because I am behind. Let's see. Nora says, first dungeon. Okay, so you're in the Kamoshida dungeon. That guy, man, that guy. Hate him so much. Oak says, we got to the first day of actual free time. Nice. Nora, what do you think of the characters so far? Because, so right now, you've just met Protag, obviously. Ryuji, An, Morgana, probably Shiho. What do you think of all the characters? Nora said, we were just given the third eye like an hour ago, so you're still very early on. Oak says, we decided to infiltrate as soon as possible. Crystal says, lurk, D&D stuff. Nice. Thank you for the lurk, Crystal. Queen says, I would have laughed if the clip was a P51 lol and just spoil. It was the ending of Persona 5 spoils everything. Nora says, I muted and covered my screen, guys. Don't worry. And then Crystal does a shout out for Nora. And Queen says, why would you go for a Nora clip from the famous Nora streamer? Oh, view, not a yeller. Yeah, so how was the volume on that? Crystal says, laughing. Yeah, the volume was better on this shouted. Okay, good. So slow improvements. Also, I want to see how much slow mode we are on right now. Crap, it just says custom. So I actually don't know, but let me take a look over to YouTube chat. Let's see. Radiant says, yeah, it's no problem. I'm just chilling. And Frolzy says, I'm so jealous. Pizza. Well, get over here, Frolzy. there is a stunning lack of people from this community like stalking me enough to figure out where I live and come over and visit. Radiant says, Logan, no graphics card upgrade. This is reference to the fact that you would have done Pragmata if you were able to settle the complications with a graphics card, but have to do Hollow Knight. Because what it is, we tried Pragmata, it was like 2 weeks ago or something, and determined, okay, my graphics card cannot handle this. I had it at the lowest possible settings, and as soon as we entered into wide open area, everything chugged to a halt. So the upgrade wouldn't even be only for that. I'd been saving up for the past like 6-9 months, something like that, ever since we upgraded some other stuff to try and be able to afford to upgrade the GPU as well. And we got to the point where it's like, this is about when I was going to want to do it. And there's other games I'd like to do, like Resident Evil Requiem, which, by the way, is somehow already on sale for discount on Steam. So maybe we can play that sometime soon as well. And so yeah, I was able to track down, figure out which one to get, but I need someone to help me install it. And I was hoping to do that earlier this week, but it looks like that's not going to be happening until Saturday at the earliest. So that's what it is. So yes, Radiant, that is why we're doing Hollow Knight. Radiant says, that's next stream though. That's right, so tomorrow we're doing Hollow Knight instead of Pragmata. I was hoping to like do the upgrade like yesterday. The installation of the upgrade, I should say, that didn't happen. So that's why we're doing Hollow Knight tomorrow. So next week, hopefully, we'll have some Pragmata. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense the way I described it. Oh, hang on. Oh, I have a pin message. Someone, 15 seconds. Okay, good. I'm not sure how far behind I am, but thank you very much, Chris. I was curious, because like sometimes I look and I'll see custom. It's like, oh crap, what's that mean? So thank you. I was, like I said, I was curious. Okay. So let's play a little bit more here. Oh, I need to grab my straw here.
You see, I helped with the investigation yesterday.
As I said, I know we need to pursue what she's thinking. We're gonna pass by that now because I want to press the other statements. We'll come back to this afterward. You helped? In what way?
Various members of the public were questioned in order to gather information about the case.
That's right, sir. The sad truth is we're all overworked. So even though it wasn't under the jurisdiction of my own beat, I obviously wanted to help.
Well, I mean, his the instructions don't say he can't, right? Huh?
Last one for tonight, but something is going on with puzzles right now. Either sleepy puzzles or, dare I say, a kitty is pushing the plus key several times in chat. The mystery is afoot.
Oh, I hope it's Mia. I hope it's a cat. But it's probably, I wonder if Vero fell asleep. Do we get sleepy Vero texting or chatting again? It's been a while since we've had a sleep Vero, sleep chatting. I missed that. That's delightful. Thank you, Queen Katie, for the 10 bits. I'm gonna look forward to that in the chat. But yeah, when a crime is discovered on his beat, a policeman must assist with initial investigations and help detectives. That would suggest that whoever's beat it was had to help. But that doesn't mean that Rolly can help. But we might, who knows, find out that maybe it actually was his beat and he was lying to get Patricia away so he could have an opportunity to do a stabbing. Oh, and there's a pin message pinned by Crystal, written by Vera. It says plus, minus.
In a wake, when did I even send that?
I don't know. Was that Mia? Oh, so we don't get sleepy text from you, Vera? Okay. But thank you very much for the 10 bits. Thank you. I got my hopes up. My hopes up so high. By the way, we're close-ish to the 2.5 hour mark, so over on the Twitch side, now would be a really good time to start keeping an eye out for raid suggestions for later on. Just saying, just throwing that out there.
So even though it wasn't under the jurisdiction of my own beat, I obviously wanted to help.
I see. Well, thank you.
Oh, is it my turn now? Obviously, if anything had been thrown out of the window, we would have seen it.
Hold it! But according to my notes here, the sun had gone down already and it was dark and like semi-foggy.
Oh, but Rolly and I were strolling along, gazing at the night sky, looking for our lucky star.
Sorry?
The star that will guide us to eternal happiness. The star we're looking for is Betelgeuse. It's in the armpit of Orion. It's visible in the wintertime. And I love armpits. I'm allowed to be into one weird thing. Can it guide you to answer the question?
If a flaming book had cut across the sky in front of us, it would have lit up like a shooting star.
Unless the book was already put out. Maybe she picked it up, it was hot, and stomped it and then threw it.
And if I had seen a shooting star, I would have made a wish upon it. Let Rowley be an inspector, I would have said 3 times at least.
Of course, what with the smog and everything, we couldn't actually see the stars.
In short, are you trying to say that neither a book nor a knife crossed the sky before you?
Yes, sir, that is correct, sir. As sure as the night sky in London is starless, sir.
It certainly seems like they're telling the truth.
And then we saw the poor woman fall to the ground, so we ran straight over to help her.
Like, did she actually ever at any point see the knife in her back yet?
I did leave the scene to go and fetch help, but my trusty Rowley was there to make sure nothing was disturbed.
Hold it! Yes, you said that you went to a nearby police box to fetch another officer, is that right?
That's right, yes. If it had been on Rowley's beat, I would have known exactly where I was going, of course.
Don't feel badly, love. You can't be expected to know the location of every police box on every beat.
So Rowley told me the way, only I sort of got a little lost on the way.
Patricia, my darling, that's why I love you. Your terrible sense of direction is bewitching to me. When you explore my body, you get lost and take the scenic route. Oh, Pat.
Oh, Rowley!
Oh, please. It's adorable!
So I suppose I was gone for about 15 minutes. But like I said, my Rowley was there to see the whole time, making sure nothing was disturbed.
I was off duty at the time, of course, but a true Bobby is never really off duty, sir.
I'm actually going to pause for a second to read some more chat. We got one more statement of press, then we'll go back to that other pressed one and pursue her startled thought. And then hopefully be able to present some evidence soon. And I think we will have this. I think we should at the very least be able to get through this cross-examination soon. Let's see. Crystal says, or read that, Vera says, Crystal, take over. I gotta rest my eyes a bit. Aw, Vero, you did fall asleep. Quiggita says, rest well, Vero. Crystal says, rest well. And Vera says, salute. I can hear stream, but resting from squinting at chat. I hope your eye turns out to be okay. Magpie says, quote, good, your education in Windows is complete. Baroque, so sassy. Quiggita says, this quote, but in modern setting would also still make sense, but for PCs instead. Yeah, now that I'm on like Windows 11, you could educate me on that. Vex says, good, ... Your education in Windows is complete. IT guy, Baroque. Quiggity with the keyboard slam says, yes, Vex, exactly. Vex says he's so tired of telling people to turn off and back on again. Magpie says, lol, saving that for the next time I have to teach something about tech. And there's where the slow mode started. Quiggity said, I love the Rowley voice. Thank you! If only Larry was like Rowley, maybe to actually have a long-time girlfriend. I wish I could be like Rowley. I wish I had his sheer animal magnetism. I mean, he is what peak performance looks like. Let me take a look over YouTube chat. Oh, I gotta scroll up a little bit there. Radiant says, yeah, makes sense. I'm gonna go grab some pizza. BRB, see when you get back. Said, guess who's back? It has more pizza. Oh, there's no time at all when I read it after the fact. Toshi says, if I wanted to stalk you, I'd need almost 10,000 for a Visa passport and a plane ticket. I know, that's what keeps me unstocked, is that unfortunately people just don't have the funds for it. I'm gonna be totally honest. It would probably be really easy to stalk me if someone wanted to and had the funds. So it's probably a good thing that nobody has. Toshi said, capitalism is destroying the stalking culture. Radiant says, that's crazy. Oh boy, I'm living the American dream, said no one ever. Toshi says, I'm living, and then message retracted. And Radiant said literally everyone who lives in America, at least they're alive. Okay, let's play some more here. I gotta put the straw back in my mouth. Not since, like, Korekio Shinguchi have we required a prop for a character like this.
I didn't take my eye off the crime scene for a moment, sir. Nothing strange to report on that front, sir.
Hold it! Hold it! Nothing to report?
That's correct, sir. I had my eyes wide open the entire time. Never looked away for a second. No one else approached the scene, and nothing was removed from it. I can swear to that on the odds honor, sir.
Really? That seems a little strange.
Beg your pardon, sir. Strange, sir. Seems altogether regular to me.
This burned copy of the Lion's Pride was originally in the Garadeb household. So the question remains, how did it find its way into the hand of the victim? Can you shed any light on that, seeing as you were at the scene of the crime the entire time? See, either he's not telling the truth. I don't know if he's intentionally lying because he covered up. Hope he didn't do a murder.
Aha! Could it be a different copy, sir? One that just happened to be burnt as well?
Even if that were possible, why would the victim have been gripping a book like that in her hand? As we can see from the photographic print, she had a bag over her shoulder. It's because she saw it on the ground and picked it up and then probably crossed the street.
Well, sir, the book was in the lady's hand from the moment we arrived at the scene.
Is that so? There's something about this statement that's not sitting right with me. The two mysteries of how that knife ended up in her back and how that book ended up in her hand. There must be some common thread between them. Okay, so now we gotta go back and pursue on that one statement.
I'm so sorry, Mr. Naruhodo. I had no right to speak out.
Well, what do you mean?
I requested the cross-examination of Mrs. Garadeb without consulting you. Even if the judge did deny me.
Oh, I see. Well, I agree with you. We do need testimony from Mrs. Garadeb if we're ever going to get to the truth of this matter.
Huh. Do you really think so?
Or we get Mr. Garadeb. Ask him about the knife. Well, think about it. No matter how far it is across the road or how the window opens, Mr. Garadeb's book found its way to the scene of the crime somehow, didn't it?
You're right.
And then there was Mrs. Garadeb's reaction to me showing her the knife. The woman's hiding something, I'm sure of it. Is she still splayed out on the ground, by the way?
You're right again.
We need to use this cross-examination to uncover more clues. We'll get to the bottom of this one way or another. I promise you that.
Yes.
Okay, so I believe it was the second statement that we had to press on. And that was the one that has her get surprised at something, yeah? So see, we'll get there, and then she'll get all startled. Can't remember what the statement was specifically. We just need to keep going until we get there. Come on. Yeah, directly opposite. Okay, come on, where was it? Where was it that she had her little speech bubble? Up here. Oh, there we go. There we go. I helped with the investigation yesterday. So now that's where we got to look around and we got to pursue this. Excuse me. Do you have something to add, Mrs. Beat?
Sorry.
You look, well, delighted. Is there some particular reason for that?
Oh, I was just remembering. That's all. We really were so lucky. Oh.
I hope that if he is the murderer that she didn't help, that she's not an accomplice. Lucky? What do you mean?
Well, of course I feel terrible for the poor woman who was attacked. Don't misunderstand me, please. But we were just so lucky it didn't happen on Rowley's beat. It was so close, you see.
Oh, I hadn't realized.
Oh, yes, that straight Briar Road. That's the boundary between Rowley's beat and the...
She died on the west side of the street. Or not died, she got stabbed on the west side of the street. Beneath the window. Rowley and Patricia show up. They drag her across the road so that she'll be on someone else's beat so he doesn't have to. But why? Because he said he stuck around to help anyway, though. But so they moved her unconscious body then.
That's the boundary between Rowley's beat and the next one. Isn't that right, my love?
Constable Beat! Hi-de ba-ba-ba! Tony! Tony's Game Lounge, ready with a party of two! Welcome, Tony. Would Vera or Crystal, whoever is most readily available, would one of you be so kind as to do a quick shout out for Tony's Game Lounge? Assuming one of you is still here, I know that Vera was having to take a nap, a not really nap, but sort of a nap. Oh, there we go.
Oh, hey, we may not be cooked. We may not be cooked. We got missed. We got missed.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't forget.
Are you sure?
Had a fun time.
Are you sure?
I like the jaunty music playing in the background from Ace Attorney here during your clip. Well, welcome, Tony. How was your stream? Looks like you were playing Final Fantasy V. Nice, just like the regular vanilla version, or were you playing like a randomizer or something like that? I've been seeing a lot of Final Fantasy stuff on my timeline the other day. Is there like, in Final Fantasy 14, do they have like a Kefka super boss? Because Final Fantasy 6, I've mentioned before, is my all-time favorite any game. I know it's a retro game, but I love the game so much. And Kefka, of course, is like the main bad guy from that. And I just see people going crazy about it. And I'm like, man, that's almost enough to make me want to play Final Fantasy 14, except it probably requires a subscription. And you probably have to play like hours and hours and hours and like tons of it before you can't just like go fight him. And it's probably very grindy. But how are you? Let me scroll down to where the raid happened so I can say hi to in the chat there. There's Sir Wiggles the Crate says, Tony can't think of a raid message. Tony says, Tony can't think of a raid message. And the Vera says, I'm responsible. I promise. Thank you, Vero. You are very responsible. Even when you do sleep text, you're responsible. Tony says, yo, Logan, hope the Ace Attorney is going well. We're about 6 hours into the Pixel Remaster of 5. How is it? And yes, Kefka is the new ultimate in 14. We're calling it UMAD is the abbreviation form. I've never played 14. Our buddy of our community, Z Diggity, has played a lot of 14, so I need to know, are these, what would you call it? Ultimates? Are they like timed events, where it's like you have this month to go fight Kefka? Or is it the type of thing that if I, like 2 years from now, decide to try playing Final Fantasy 14, I'd be able to go back and fight Kefka? Because, like, I love Kefka. I mean, he's not a good person, but I love Final Fantasy 6. And then Tony says, and yes, you need 14 sub to attempt the Kefka Ultimate Fight. Is basically just the newest form of hardest content. Well, I just see people, like, freaking out because they can't figure out how to defeat him, because apparently there's one that said if you make a mistake in, like, one phase, you can still defeat him in that phase, but then the next phase will become unbeatable because you did it wrong in the previous phase or something like that. It sounds nuts. It sounds really, really nuts. And Tony says, available forever. Okay, good. That makes me happy. So I could just, like, maybe at some point, I'll sometime in the distant future play some Final Fantasy 14. Maybe when I've retired from everything in life and I just need to do something while I wait for my physical body to die. But thank you, Tony, for the raid. I hope the Pixel Remaster went really well for FF5. I'm going to scroll up to where I was in the chat before. But good to see you and Sir Wiggles. Oh, and Cookster is here. Cookster, how long have you been here? Said, I remember when I was an optional extra hard boss in the end game. Cookster! I don't think I've gotten to where you showed up in the chat. So good to see you. How are you? Always love seeing you in the chat. And let me take a look over YouTube chat. Oh, and I'm still caught up on YouTube, so that's good. Okay. CS Raiders, we're in the middle of a cross-examination here, so let's play just a little bit more here. And once again, we are now past the 2.5 hour mark, so on Twitch, if you guys got raid suggestions for later on when we reach the 3 hour mark, do be sure to let me know. Okay, so what was Rolly saying here?
Oh, yes, that's right. That's the reason I was helping out with interviewing the occupants of the Garadeb household yesterday. Their house is on my beat, you see, sir.
See, there we go. So she was stabbed on that side of the road, and he and Patricia, they moved the body together. Huh. That really was cutting it close then.
Constable, I wonder if you could clarify something.
Susato gets it. She's suspicious.
If the Garadeb household is on your beat, does that mean that the pavement next to it is as well?
Outside Mr. Garadeb's house? Yes, ma'am. The pavement on that side of the road is part of my beat.
I see. I was unaware of that.
Just think, if the woman had been attacked just on the other side of Briar Road, we would have never been able to go for that meal to celebrate our wedding anniversary. But that's the life of a Bobby after all.
So, but would he have stabbed her though? It sounds like he at least dragged her across the road, but why? So again, the knife, it still might be Joan Garrideb. She throws the knife and it falls straight down and hits her in the back. Or it might just be that it led, but why would he drag the knife? I hope it is Joan Garrideb. I don't like her. Extraordinary people are Bobbies, tirelessly working for the benefit of all Londoners. Do you know what I think? I think it was the good Lord's way of rewarding my Rolly for all his hard work. Don't you think so, my darling?
That must be it, Pat, my love. That must be it.
I think perhaps we should make sure we have the information officially on record.
Leave it to me, Mr. Naruhodo. I'll take care of it immediately.
The case file's information has been updated in the court record. Okay, so we'll be able to present something as evidence here. Let's see how the case file reads. There we go, case file. Let's read this. Incident report details young woman rendered unconscious following a stab wound to the back. Victim all agreed. Location pavement of Vire Road, East Side. Reporting officer Rolly Beat. Additional notes. The victim remains unconscious. Her name was gleaned from her personal effects. Other details are unknown. Apart from the single stab wound from the large knife, no other signs of injury were observed. That was all there before. But now we got the assailant was seen running away from the reporting officer. Oh no, rest of the following. No, that is the same. Oh, she just wrote East Side. That's all she did. Pavement of Briar Road, East Side. Okay, so, but now we have to prove somehow that he dragged her body across the street. How do we do that? And now it's my turn, I think. Oh, this is new. Okay, so we had to wait to get this new information until after that. Okay. Can I ask you something, please, Mr. Lawyer, sir? Oh, yes, of course. What is it? You're doubting us, aren't you? I can tell. Last time that we were doubting, she grabbed Rolly and tried to make him beat us up. What? I wasn't real. I mean, what is she doing? Please, just because I'm a woman, it doesn't make my testimony any less valuable. Why so sexist? You might just see me as the wife of a policeman, but I'm a woman of my word, I am. I really don't remember ever suggesting that I doubted you. No excuses, I don't want to hear it. Oh, my voice will be heard. You'll let me speak, won't you? Oh, I'm talking to the judge. Yes, Mrs. Beat, I will allow you to supplement your testimony if you so desire. Last time she did this, she voluntarily offered up information that helped us, so that's probably going to happen again.
Sometimes the path of least resistance is the sage one. Judge, I don't know what my name is.
What is my judge name? I was going to say, like, going to attribute it to him. We had Judge Udgy and Mayonnaise Attorney. What is this judge's name? That was a very loud mutter. I heard that. That Japanese man thinks a policeman's wife's word counts for nothing, does he? Well, watch out, sir. I might let you get away with something like that, but my Rolly won't. Duly noted, Mrs. Beat. Please, I humbly ask you to continue. What could she possibly be about to say, I wonder? She's probably going to say that we did not drag the body across the street. I know what I saw. My eyes never let me down. My sense of direction is a little off sometimes. Oh. And that's going to explain why that she didn't know it was the east, that she was on the west side of the street. She got all mixed. Oh, and that's why she got lost on the way to the police box. He probably told her, like, go east or west or something, and she went the opposite direction. So that's why. So, okay, so at least she is innocent in this. But Rolly understood that he would have had to miss his dinner plans, so he dragged her across the street. Yeah, let's press on this statement, then we'll come back and we'll present evidence here. Hold it! Mrs. Beat, nobody is questioning what you told us. I saw it, I did. That evening I saw it clearly. That little Eastern man with the whiskers and the funny curved back, slinking away from the scene. Maybe we can ask, like, what direction he ran away? And I know what I didn't see as well. I didn't see any flaming books or knives flying through the sky. All very clear. You also mentioned something about having a poor sense of direction?
Oh, yes, well, that's a little embarrassing, really. I'm always ending up at the wrong place when I made arrangements with Rowley. He gets ever so cross.
Oh, is that him saying something there? Okay, so we gotta go over to him because we've already pressed the other statements. All right, so it's taking us a while to get there, but we're gonna get there. These cross-examinations are so much more elaborate. I will read some more chats soon, by the way. I will read more chats soon. Constable Beat, is there a problem?
No, sir, no problem, sir.
Did your wife's remark just now bring something to mind, perhaps?
Oh, I'm well in a way, sir. Yes, sir. I was just remembering that the same thing happened that evening is all.
Huh? You mean Mrs. Beat lost her way on the night of the incident? Is it possible that he wasn't the one who moved the body, that maybe she found the body first, like earlier? No, because she has bad direction, so she wouldn't have recognized that he was, which beat Olive Green was on.
Well, you see, I sent her off to find a police box in the next beat over from mine. But she was gone a fair longer than I was expecting. I thought she'd be back in 10 minutes, but my darling was gone a good 15.
Oh, Rowley, you're such a tease. But the reason I was so long was because of the bouquet, silly.
The bouquet?
Sorry, what bouquet are you talking about? Oh, it was a present for our wedding anniversary. Rowley is so romantic. He saved up for it with farthings and halfpennies he found in the gutter while doing his rounds.
Yes, how romantic.
I'd forgotten all about it until just now. Had you, my darling?
Oh, yes. But that was just between us. Seriously, don't bring the bouquet in there. There's evidence that I did a murder or tampered with a crime scene or something. Some crap like that. Please do not do this to me. Don't do this to me, wife. No talking about it to anyone else, darling. You have to promise.
Really? Oh. What was that all about? Constable Beat looked very obviously troubled during that exchange.
I'm afraid I can't offer any useful insight, Mr. Naruhodo. But I'm quite sure of one thing. We have to ask Mrs. Beat about the bouquet!
This is the most elaborate cross-examination ever. We used to just hear testimony and present evidence. Now it's like weaving our way through a labyrinth to get to what we need to present evidence to. So what could the bouquet have? Maybe it'll turn out that the bouquet is like that he didn't buy it, that Olive Green had it and he stole it from her? I don't. There's like I don't know. Mrs. Beat, the bouquet, this bouquet you just mentioned. I'd like you to add details about it to your testimony. Please, how many times have we added new things?
Oh, really? Yes, I'd love to.
I'm just very sad that this is the first time in like 20 minutes the camera has looked at me.
What happened was I dropped my bouquet and ended up losing my way for a while.
Okay, I need to read some more chat. This is a long cross-examination. Seriously, my goal is just to finish this cross-examination tonight. We got like 12 minutes till the 3-hour mark. Oh, there we go. Cookster was the very next message. I was so close to seeing Cookster says, oh yeah, I remember this happened to me last Wednesday. Cookster, you live such an exciting, adventurous life. Magpie says, the expectation of walking 20 miles in a day every day is insane to me. Well, if you do, how many kilometers was it that Saitama ran each day? Was it just 10K to become One Punch Man? You know, back then, maybe they were just hardier folk. Quickita says, wait, and then Vero says, plus. And then Vera says, asterisk, minus. And then Vera says, plus. Quickita says, also, Vera, what? Ah, gotcha. Cookster says, speaking in wingdings. Quickita said, just making sure. And Vera says, plus. Quickita says, Vera. Crystal says, Vero is chat EP. Vera says, plus. Crystal says, Vero, give us a sign. Quickita says, Vero is on PC. Then the shift button must also be pressed too for the plus icon. Oh crap, you're right. Wow, you are right. I wasn't even thinking about that. But then unpressed for the minus sign. Wow. Quiggity says, do we have a kitty, a super shy kitty? Nora says, I love On. I knew you would. And I'm sure that you're probably shipping her and Shiho. I bet. Quiggita says slow mode is 15 seconds. Chris said 15 seconds slow. Thank you again for that. Quiggita says, yeah, it was that super city area in Pragmata that nuked it, so Logan had to stop there. Vera says plus, minus. Quiggita says, who's pushing your keys, Vero? Cookster says, communicating in Morse code, and there's Vero saying, I'm awake. And Quiggita says, Vero, scroll up. You said so many of that. Nora says, I've had sleeping Vero DMs before, and they're so funny. They were talking about something of their mom coming over, and they needed to call her or something like that, and it was really funny. I've only had the one time that Vera posted in the Discord, Sleepy, and it was delightful. Let me look over to YouTube. Yeah, it was just Radiant saying, hee duty. I like that you're adapting so well, by the way, to all of our inside jokes right away, Radiant. Okay, so I'm still caught up on YouTube. I'm getting closer on Twitch. But we gotta press this statement now.
What happened was I dropped my bouquet and ended up losing my way for a while.
Hold it! You mean you dropped the bouquet at the scene of the crime?
Yes, that's right. Oh, I was so upset.
We should ask the police, like, which side of the street they found a bouquet on.
When we ran over and saw it, it was a woman with a knife in her back. I was so shocked I dropped the bouquet rolling.
Okay, so this confirms, and maybe they already confirmed last time and I just forgot. This confirms the knife was already in Olive's back by the time we got here. So I don't think Rolly did any stabbing, but he did move the body, which means that Mrs. Garadeb probably is the not intentional murder, but accidental murder. Although I guess it's not murder if it's accident, it's just an accident, really. Although it was an attempted murder of her husband, which is also bad.
I was so shocked I dropped the bouquet Rolly gave me. It was a dark spot where the streetlights weren't casting any light, so I didn't notice it.
Hey! Out the streetlight out on the side of the road of the Garadeb residence. Remember, everything was all messed up. That streetlight was out, and there was like a broken bike and all sorts of bad stuff like that. And then you went to the police box to report it to the policeman whose beat it was on.
Yes, and I came back to the scene together with the other constable, you see. That's when I spotted my bouquet again, but a funny thing was, when I went to pick it up,
it was on the other side of the street.
It was nowhere near the victim's body at all.
Got this figured out.
In case you need reminding, Mrs. Beat, the victim is not deceased.
I need reminding sometime. I keep forgetting.
I was all flustered for a moment before I heard a voice calling me from the other side of the road.
Your husband, presumably. You dragged the body, yeah.
That's right, silly me. I'd gone over to the wrong side of the street. Although, I'm going to blame the bouquet this time. I can't think of how it got there. I really can't.
I mean, the defense will probably be like, the wind blew it. I don't know. So the bouquet somehow moved from one side of Briar Road to the opposite. No, the body moved. Curious indeed.
Isn't it? But the worst of it is I forgot to pick the bouquet up again when we left the scene. That beautiful rose Rolly bought me with that change from the gutter he spent so long collecting.
Can we find out from somebody to mark on our map where the bouquet was found by the police? Does Van Zeeks understand? I think he figured it out. He knows he's screwed.
By bouquet, do you perhaps mean this sorry, solitary rose?
Oh, and it's wrapped in newspaper. It's a nice rose, though. Roses do be expensiver than other flowers.
Oh, yes, that's it. That's the bouquet Rolly bought me for our anniversary with old bits of change he found in the gutter.
Maybe just call it a rose. Tell us, Lord Van Zeeks, where did you come by the flower? Here we go.
According to the report by the police officer in charge of the crime scene investigation, it was found on the edge of the pavement in front of the Garadeb household.
Below their window? In front of the Garadeb's house?
Although it wasn't noticed until the morning, as it lay where the street lamps cast no light. It was believed to be of no relevance to the case, since it was found on the opposite side of the thoroughfare.
Okay, the lack of light is also going to be important, because later on we keep saying that the reason why that they could so clearly see the victim and Soseki, Natsume, is because the street lamps. But over there, no street lamps.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you. Could I have it back now, please?
Oh. No! I think for good measure, this rose should be added to the court record as evidence.
Oh.
The anniversary bouquet has been entered into the court record. A present for Patricia Beat from her husband Rowley. The shock of seeing the stabbed victim caused Mrs. Beat to drop the rose where she stood.
But it's a symbol of our love. I want it back after the trial. Do you hear me? I want it back.
I mean, that's fair. Oh, good grief. Rest assured, I shall do my very best to not forget Mrs. Beat. Okay, so that's everything. That is everything. So let's save, and now we've got new pieces of evidence, and we got to figure out what we can present to somehow suggest that the body was not where it was, they're claiming it was on the east side of the street, but was in fact on the west side of the street. But I'm not sure which statement to do and which piece of evidence to show this. I wish I could just, explain this theory, but I can't. I need to show it through evidence. Let me read some more in the chat. Crystal's laughing, says, yeah. Quita says it was just the plus, minus, and asterisk. Vera says, lol. Crystal says, I genuinely thought you were messing around. Quita said you must have been pressing the shift button too at some point of those. Vera said, I'm sorry. Don't apologize, Vero. It's delightful. Crystal laughing. Quita said, it's fine. It was funny. Crystal says, it okay, Vero. Cookster says, the secret unknown form of trinary, a sister system to binary. Vera says, I don't even have a cat in my room to blame. And a timestamp 2 hours, 27 minutes. I'm still a half hour behind. Vera said, nuh-uh. I didn't fall asleep. Crystal says, so it's just you. Cookster says, a very slight case of madness. Well, I mean, it's a little bit of madness. Can be fun. So I can scroll down. There's where Tony's raid happened. Thank you again for the raid, Tony. Let's see. Tony says, yeah, phase 2 has a puzzle gimmick where if you do it wrong, you get kicked from the fight and have to start over from phase 1. There's a normal fight for Kefka as well, which is unlocked after Stormblood. This, for the first time, I'm interested in playing Final Fantasy XIV. I love Final Fantasy VI characters. Nora said, one of the Final Fantasy VI characters is on my island in Tomodachi Life and just got married. Nora said, today was my last day of school for the next T2.5 months. Nice summer vacation! Congratulations, Nora. Cookster says Bobby is actually an affectionate name of Bobbert. That's right. If you want to be formal, he's not a please Bobby, he's a please Bobbert. Magpie says Bobthew, Bobathy. Cookster says Babilium. Magpie says Babantha. Cookster says Bobison. Nora says they're both so cute looking. These two, they're an adorable couple. Vera says Pod 5 guy. That's a raid suggestion. I thought that was like an emote that didn't quite go through. Cookster says the twist is something like Rolly was secretly a life-size puppet. Ooh. Oh crap, the raid suggestion thing and talking about emotes, that reminds me, crap, I was gonna set up the discounted what do you call it? The discounted subs today, and I completely forgot. I'm an idiot. Somebody please remind me next Greatest Attorney stream to set up the discount subs, because I want people to be able to get subs again, but at a discount. Send less money to that old Twitch Bezos. And the Cookster says, I'm pretty sure those shining, pulsating eyes are a symptom of some terrible disease. And still caught up on YouTube. And Nora says, I want to stick around, but I'm so exhausted. I've had a little over 100 grams of sugar today, and I've been up and doing stuff for 18 hours. I want to go to sleep. I mean, you think sugar would give you energy, but okay. But get some sleep, Nora. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the raid. Quita says, timestamp 2 hours, 48 minutes, only 10 minutes behind now. And Nora says, good night, chat. Good night, Nora. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the raid. The end of chat is in sight. So let's go back to the game. I'm going to have a sip of water, and we're going to figure out where we're going to present evidence here. So let's rewind all the way to the start and go through these things one at a time. Well, actually, yeah, let's do that first. Case had nothing to do with Mr. and Mrs. Garrett. Believe me, London Bobby is good for his word. Which apparently he's not, since he moved a body. The windows of the top floor are top hinge casements. That is true. Obviously, if anything had been thrown out of the window, we would have seen it. Not if it happened earlier, the knife was already in her back, right? I did leave the scene to go and fetch help, but my trusty Rolly was there to make sure nothing was disturbed, except he did disturb things. What happened was I dropped my bouquet and ended up losing my way for a while. Didn't take my eye off the crime scene for one moment, sir. Nothing strange to report on that front, sir. Okay, like, there's a lot of stuff I want to comment on, but nothing really overtly contradictory except for this, that nothing strange to report. So we could do that. Did I save? Let me save, because I'm not sure the exact combination. You guys saw, I know what the theory is we got to put forward, but I need the exact combination of statement and evidence to present here. So let's figure this out together. I'm going to assume it's this one because he said nothing strange to report, sir. So we're going to present evidence. Shock scene, the stab victim caused her to drop the rose where she stood. The rules of conduct which they must adhere. And that's it. I mean, I guess we do the map. But the map doesn't end I mean, so much of this evidence could work if, like, they just put the map and the rose and the little booklet and everything together and just say, like, all these things, but I don't know what statement to present. I don't know what statement to present. Let me review the statements one more time. One last time. Because if we use the rose, the book, of the map. Nothing to do with Mr. and Mrs. Garrett. Believe me, in London, Bobby is good for his word. That's a lie, because he moved the body. But I don't have evidence, like... Ugh. You see, sir, the windows on the top floor, the garret of top hinged casements. That is correct. Obviously, if anything had been thrown out the window, we would have seen them. That's not true, but oh well. I did leave the scene to go and fetch. Well, I mean, I guess we could do that with the fact that the light was out there, so they wouldn't have seen it because there was no gas lamp. Did leave the scene, go fetch help. My trusty really was there to make sure that nothing was disturbed. What happened was I dropped my bouquet and ended up losing my way for a while. I feel like we should be presenting evidence to one of the new statements that was presented. So if we don't do this statement, for nothing strange to report, we could do this one happened. I dropped my bouquet and ended up losing my way for a while. You know, we did save, so let's save scum this. Let's try and present some evidence. Does the description of any of these things show a location relevant to the case? Small folding wallet identifies London. Oh, we can examine this. Let's take a closer look. Maybe there'll be something on it that will help us out. So let's look first of all at the rose.
An English rose. It's such a beautiful flower.
Ah, this is a rose, is it? I've never seen one before.
Do you not take an interest in flowers, Mr. Naruhodo?
I wouldn't say that exactly, but I know 3 types, at least.
Gosh, 3?
Yes! Plum blossom, peach blossom, cherry blossom.
Perhaps you should consider branching out as branching as a tree, learning some that aren't fruit tree based, for example.
Okay, can we click this thing? Maybe undo it? Maybe there'll be like a note on there. It's a very stylish paper the flowers are wrapped in, isn't it?
It's just an old newspaper, Mr. Naruhodo.
Oh, I suppose it's because I'm not used to seeing English print. It looks so exotic to me.
Ah, I see.
Is something wrong?
Oh, no. I was just thinking that if you wrapped a stone-baked sweet potato in English newspaper, it might look like some sort of fancy cake.
Ah, Susato-san, you do love your cakes. Hope that's a big running gag. She loves her cakes. Okay, is there like some specific article here? Because that's suddenly highlighted. An English rose. Oh, no, that's the same thing. I thought I was looking at the back of it. I wasn't not looking at English rose, peach blossom, and cherry blossom and all that stuff. Can I look at the stem? Maybe? Okay. Can we look down inside? Okay, so we don't seem to be gleaning any new bits of information from this. Even though there's like fancy stuff, we could untie it. So let's... I'm pretty sure I saved. I'm going to save again just to triple check. And let's try presenting some evidence. Because I know what the theory is. I know what the theory is that he dragged the body across the street and she didn't realize because she has a bad sense of direction. And the flower is evidence that the body wasn't where she found the body by the time she got back. So let's try presenting the rose here and see if it does anything. Present for Patricia Beat from her husband Rolly. Shock is seeing the stab victim caused Miss Beat to drop the rose where she stood. So present.
Objection!
Music didn't stop crap. That reveals a darning inconsistency, that last statement. Darning, don't say that.
I mean, you're using it properly, so it's not a swear, but Logan doesn't feel comfortable saying that word. As I look at you, Counsel, I see your trembling hand, your pallid expression, and your perspiring brow. Huh? It seems to me that is the darning inconsistency here. With the misplaced confidence in your assertion. Oh, he has a darning tongue. You invited it, sir. You invited that. Yeah, that's on you. Okay, so it wasn't that, so let's reload, because I'm a save scummer. Load the game. Load the game. Load the game. The important thing is that it's got to be the rose, and the fact that Rose said she dropped it where she stood. So we'll try presenting it to some other piece of evidence. Make sure nothing was disturbed. Okay, try presenting it here, then. Present Rose here. Objection! No! The witness's last statement clearly odds with the evidence. No, just gonna load, just gonna load. They might say darning again. Okay, let's think about this. So we could try, obviously if any had been thrown from the window, we would have seen it. Wood at the top floor of the Garrett house. With the Garrett, believe me, London Bobby is good for his word. Let's try the bit where he says, didn't leave the crime scene for one moment. Thank you, Tomcat. Oh, we got a pin message on Twitch. I don't know a good hint for this, so if you do need help, feel free to ask for either statement or evidence if one is correct or not. Okay, let me try this first and see if I can figure it out on my own. But thank you very much, Queen Katie, because I am floundering a little bit. Because again, I know what the information we're trying to communicate. I just don't know how to tell the game through the matching of statement to evidence. So let's try and do this and try and present the rose now to this statement. Objection. Oh, we got it! You claim, Constable Beat, there is nothing to report in the 15 or so minutes you were guarding the scene. But that cannot be! What do you mean to say? In your testimony just now, Mrs. Beat, you explained to the court that when you arrived back at the scene of the crime with the policeman assigned to that beat, the bouquet you had dropped at the victim's side was no longer anywhere nearby. Objection! Okay, Van Zeeks has got to be smart enough to realize where we're going here with this, right?
Yes, on the opposite side of Briar Road to where the victim was attacked. But considering the size of the meager bouquet, if a single sorry bloom could be so described, no doubt it was blown in the wind across the street.
See, that's what I said that he was gonna do as a defense. It was blown away in the wind.
Back to the gutter where it belongs.
Meager? Objection. But if that were the case, why would Constable Beat not testify to the fact?
Huh?
No one else approached the scene and nothing was removed from it. Constable Beat swore to that on Scotland Yard's honor. But the bouquet belonged to me. It has nothing to do with the case.
That's why Rowley didn't mention it, I'm sure. Except it affects the location of the stabbing. No, because sadly, it's not only your bouquet we're talking about here. More than one thing in this case is mysteriously the wrong way around.
What are you talking about?
Think about it. Besides Mrs. Beat's bouquet, there's Mr. Garrideb's book. Mr. Garrideb's copy of The Lion's Pride, which was thrown out the window by his wife, would have struck the pane of the casement window and landed here on the west side of the street. And yet, it was actually found here on the opposite side of the road in the victim's hand. Meanwhile, according to the testimony we've heard, Mrs. Beat's bouquet should have been dropped here at the scene of the crime on the east side of the street, but in fact, it was actually found here on the opposite side of the road in front of Mr. and Mrs. Garrideb's house. Why are you taking so long to say this, bro? Just say he moved the body. There's no logical explanation for those things. Yes, there is! Are you gonna say except? Oh, there we go, unless somebody deliberately moved them! There we go! We got there. Eventually, he figured things out. I need to read some chat. I need to fully catch up to chat. I am still fully caught up on YouTube, but I need to fully catch up on Twitch. I am so close to it. Earlier, I could see the end of chat in sight. Quick said, you're halfway through the paragraph for this testimony. Oh boy. Vera said, I stopped myself from sleep texting. No more notifs for me. Then what was all the plus stuff, huh? Oh, hang on. I can also exit out of this screen. I don't need to be on that. That's not interesting to watch. Oh, no, I didn't mean to click to hubba bub. The hubba bubba bub. Hubba bubba. Hubba bubba bubba bubba. Hubba hubba. Quick decided, I will say, if we finish the testimony, we could definitely see us finishing the case on Sunday. Well, finish the case, then start the next one, maybe, lol. Vera said, think of the very salute stream. I had fun. Oh, and I should also say last call for raid suggestions, in case anybody has one. I know Vera has already sent us at least one, and so we've got one no matter what. But just if people want to slip some others in, feel free. So we are set, but if you got them, then send them. Let's see. Quick says, I have the guide if needed, but you're on good track. Oh, I didn't know you can examine the rows. Keyboard slam. Wait, that's a reference to Phoenix? He also only knows 3 flower types and runs in the oh, did he? I'm trying to remember what word Phoenix is. Quick said, Ryunosuke's ghost during Phoenix's university days. You're being used by that girl. The girl named Sunflower? Anyway, get out of there. I don't know. Good hint for you. Oh, that was pinned earlier. Quick says, he did it. Huzzah! Vera says, yay! Quick said, there was only so many options and he got it. It was a little bit of brute force, but you guys saw I was telling the truth when I said I understood the information. I just didn't know the delivery mechanism. And Vera said, it was nothing. Proudy Face Vex says, thank you for the very spousal abuse. Straight in there, 3 hours, 10 minutes, and 47 seconds. I caught up to chat for the first time of the night on Twitch. Okay, so first of all, I should do this again because it's been a while since I've done this. I should copy and paste our link tree over into YouTube. So if anyone's lurking here or over on YouTube, this link tree has all of our social media, including a Discord invite, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, all that good stuff. So feel free to check it out, make use of it, ignore it, whatever you want to do. It's there if you want it. Also for lurkers, now's a really good time to reiterate our schedule. We stream Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Sundays. This game, Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, is the main game we're playing. We're alternating with other games. This week, we're alternating with some Hollow Knight. So tomorrow's going to be some Hollow Knight. We're actually close-ish toward the end of the game. We might even beat it. Maybe. So that's what we're going to be playing tomorrow. Sunday, we're going to pick up where we're leaving off here with Patricia adorably strangling Roly. But first, let me go ahead and initiate a raid for the Twitch side because we're past the 3-hour mark and we need to get out of here. Here's the raid, and here's a raid message that you can copy over to your clipboard. Oh, looks like Vera typed it in as well. Thank you very much, Vero. And scroll up a bit. Let's see. Oh, thank you, Troll Attack. I did save. I'm clicked out of the game, but I will do that like right after the raid concludes. Thank you. Queen said this pretty much at the end of the testimony, so if you want to stop here, this would be good, lol. Vera said not updated. Oh, the schedule, because I didn't put that Hollow Knight is going to be tomorrow. Thank you. I didn't even think about it because it's not Tuesday. Thank you for the heads up on that, Vero. Queen said thank you for the very Roly stream. Queen says gasp. Magpie says good night, Logan. Good night to everybody. Thank you all for being here. As always, I love and appreciate you all. It means the world to me that, because I know you all have stuff in your lives that you could do instead of this, but you spend your time with me. And I do want you to know that that means everything to me. I cherish it. I treasure that time that we spend together. And it means the world to me, and I love it, and I have so much fun hanging out with all you guys. You are an amazing community. So to everyone on Twitch and over on YouTube, all of you are wonderful, including on YouTube. We got some new friends like Radiant, who was here that we met in Hollow Knight the other night. But you're all fantastic. So tomorrow's going to be some more Hollow Knight, and then Sunday, as I said, we're going to pick up here where we left off, and hopefully next week I'll have my graphics card figured out to be able to resume some Pragmata. But for right now, I love and appreciate all of you. Thank you for being here. You're the best. You're amazing. You're a better community than I could ever hope for. I could ever dream for. So everyone on Twitch, the raid's about to start, so enjoy the raid. Bye, everybody. Bye. Bye, 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 bye. And so Twitch has rated out, so everyone on YouTube, thank you for being here as well. Everyone there, I know that Dermo already left to go to sleep, but Radiant, Toshi, Frulzy, I know Taco already had to leave earlier as well, and anyone else who's been here, thank you for being here. You guys are all amazing as well. I appreciate you, so to everyone on YouTube and anyone in the future watching this VOD, good night as well.